Welcome to the Southern Bancorp Badger pregame show. We'll take a look at last week's game and this week's opponent with head coach J.R. Eldridge.
Let's it go.
Now let's head to the stadium with the voice of the Badgers, Dr. Jeff Root.
Started here in Little Rock, just a few minutes away from kickoff. We're glad to bring you this game. I missed last week, and I missed a whale of a game, but a loss for Arkadelphia. So we're very excited about the opportunity to bring you this huge game in Arkansas this week. Arkadelphia versus Joe T. Robinson High School, the Senators and the Badgers tonight. A huge crowd is arriving here at Joe T. Robinson High School, and down the street, a huge crowd for the big ball game also just right down the street between Pulaski Academy and Little Rock Christian. So lots of football going on in West Little Rock tonight. And this is a huge crowd also. A long line of cars out on the highway waiting to get in and find a parking place. It's not easy to find a parking place tonight because it's going to be a full house here to see this action, Arkadelphia and Joe T. Robinson. We're very excited to bring you the game. We have a few people out tonight because of Tiger Tunes and homecoming. So no Caleb Bird tonight and no Jack Bennington tonight, but we're going to fill in with old pros. Jim Rothwell is with us. Chris Babb is with us, and I'm excited to bring you this game. This is Jeff Root. It is just a week away from homecoming for Arkadelphia, but tonight nobody's thinking about home. They're thinking about this field here, and we've got a beautiful view. In fact, it reminds me of the old days of covering Arkadelphia when we were on top of Haygood Stadium. Before it was Carpenter Haygood Stadium, we'd watch the game from the rooftop, and that's what we're doing tonight on top of the press box here at Joe T. Robinson High School. It's going to be a good view from our camera operator, Katie Hatchett. It's going to be a good view for us, and we're going to be excited to bring you this game. Robinson comes in, of course, the team that Arkadelphia lost to by 28 points in the regular season last year, the team that Arkadelphia defeated in the state championship game by 28 points. And so Arkadelphia is looking to continue that string against the Senators, while the Senators are looking for revenge tonight and a chance to stay undefeated in conference play. Arkadelphia doesn't want to fall to 0-2 in conference play, and the schedule gets a little bit easier after tonight, so they very much would love to win this game and then move on forward in the conference. We're working through a technical problem or two, but we think that we are getting you a strong picture now and working on the sound as well. So we'll be going very soon now to the Coach's Show. We are ready. We'll take it to now the J.R. Eldridge Show along with Chris Babb.
Welcome back to the Southern Bancorp Badger pregame show. Kickoff between Arkadelphia and Robinson just a few minutes away. Take our time to visit with Arkadelphia head coach J.R. Eldridge. This is Chris Babb, and Coach Eldridge, your team comes off of a loss. Hasn't happened in over a year, but the Badgers now will rebound from a loss. You talk about responding to adversity within a game, outside a game, and that even goes for the next week in practice after a loss. Talk about your team's preparation this week and how you view it as a coaching staff, maybe compared to last week.
Yeah, well, we really wanted to focus on the fact that we did not have a really good week of practice the week prior to our Nashville game, and really just show our players, what we were talking about on film on Sunday. So we went back and looked at the practice film and looked at the game film and talked about how they were really correlating to one another. And so we really focused on our practice habits and tried to do our best to put systems in place in practice to make sure that we're doing exactly what we need to in practice to have a good game on Friday night. And every opponent, we try to treat every opponent the same, and so really we wanted to just go back and find out what we could do better in practice, and I feel like our guys have really done a good job of bouncing back and having a good week of practice.
preparation week to week and going back and examining things that you may do as a coaching staff, or practice schedules, or players and their effort in practice is something that you look at week to week, but sometimes it seems like maybe a loss kind of gets the attention of a team maybe a little bit more, and that's unfortunate that it has to. But have you maybe gotten a sense from your players that they have responded well from last week?
Well, we hope so. And I think really just being able to really communicate with our players and help them to understand that hopefully this is a kind of a wake-up call. Nothing to take away. That's not to take away from Nashville and their play on the football field. We just did not play the type of football that we've been able to play really the last 13 games. We did not play our best football, and our goal every week is to play our best football. And so hopefully it is a wake-up call for us. I think that we've been able to, again, have a better week of practice. But the biggest thing about it, for us to understand is that Friday night is the test. Friday night will be the evidence of whether we've had a good week of practice. So hopefully we can continue to move forward and have a great week or a great Friday night. And I look forward to seeing our players really respond, even in the game this evening.
Not only the high school teams in the middle of their season, let's take a little detour for a minute and talk about the other teams within the Arkadelphia Badger football program. The 7th grade team is undefeated, having defeated Nashville, Malvern, and Robinson last night. The junior high team, 2-1 in conference, had a big come-from-behind win last night against Robinson. That's the 8th and 9th grade team. So talk a little bit about those two teams, and then we'll kind of talk about the newer facet of the program in 5th and 6th grade. But the two junior high teams have really improved each week.
Yeah, we'll start with the 7th grade. The 7th grade, we've got a really big group. I think we've got around 40 players out there every morning from 7:15 until about 8:40. And they've just done a great job of coming to work every day and really trying to do what they're coached to do. And they really, really do love football. And that's evidenced by how they played every Friday night. Felt like we played our toughest 7th grade opponent against Robinson this week, and really did a great job of fighting back and just making plays within the game. We were able to come away with a victory. So really proud of those guys and the way that they've worked up to this point, and look forward to continuing to coach them and see them develop not only this year but as we move forward into their careers as an Arkadelphia Badgers. And then our 8th and 9th grade team has really just done a great job of really improving week to week. Felt like we played one of our toughest junior high opponents that we've played up to this point in Robinson, and came away with a 29-19 victory. We were down 19-7, and our players just continue to put on more steam and continue to get better. And so really excited about that group as well, and can't wait to see how they continue to respond.
All right, when we come back, we'll talk about a new aspect of the Arkadelphia Badger football program, going down into the younger middle school and elementary with 5th and 6th grade, and we'll talk about tonight's opponent, the Robinson Senators. You're watching Arkadelphia Badger Football TV on Mascot Media and listening on KSWH 102.5 FM The Pulse. We'll be back with more of the Southern Bancorp pregame show after this timeout. Contact Price & Company Price & Company Insurance and Bonds in Arkadelphia is a 100% fully independent agency, meaning that you'll be working with insurance agents who have an in-depth knowledge of multiple insurance products, companies, and guidelines, not just one. Contact Price & Company Insurance and Bonds today for your needs at 1015 Caddo Street in Arkadelphia, or by calling 870-246-5573. Price & Company Insurance and Bonds says, "Go Badgers."
What if a bank didn't just make home loans, but taught responsible home ownership? What if a bank didn't just make business loans, but actually trained successful entrepreneurs? And what if a bank didn't just help you use credit, but helped you build and repair it. That would be a different kind of bank. Southern Bancorp, a bank on a mission to be wealth builders for everyone. Learn how you can bank differently at banksouthern.com/whatif.
Welcome back to the Southern Bancorp Badger pregame show. Kickoff between the Arkadelphia Badgers and the Joe T. Robinson Senators in a big 4A7 matchup just a few minutes away. Chris Babb visiting with Arkadelphia head coach J.R. Eldridge. And, Coach, we talked a little bit before the break about the junior high teams, but this is the first year that you've gotten involved with the 5th and 6th grade. I know that's been something we talked about for a few years and finally been able to get involved in that with several of your former players, Jakari Howell, Chris Oliver, Jeff Blake, Rashad Young, Jerron Dixon, and some others, really kind of instilling the principles and installing offenses and defenses that you run at the 7th through 12th grade level with those 5th and 6th graders. Talk a little bit about that before we get into tonight's game against Robinson, about your 5th and 6th grade group.
Yeah, it's really been fun seeing former players being able to coach the young Badgers, the 5th and 6th grade Badgers, and our 5th and 6th grade Badgers. I think they're just having a great time, and that's really what we wanted to try to do, is help them to have fun in football, learn how to play the game the way that the Arkadelphia Badgers do, and to really try to instill in them the fundamental mindsets that we have toward the game of football, and what we can do for our teammates and our coaches, and it's really been awesome to see that kind of come to life. They're able to go to practice every day and learn some of the same things that our former Badgers did. And hopefully it's going to pay off for the future as far as them being able to make a quick transition into 7th grade football. Also, I feel like, numbers-wise, maybe it'll increase our numbers as we move forward, because they're being able to, to just have fun, and they're with guys that they're going to be playing with. And so that's been really fun to see, and they've really been able to play well. We've got we're in the shotgun. We're able to run some of the same offenses. Same offensive plays, and then we've been able to install 2 different coverages and 2 different fronts for our defense. So just really fun being on the sideline and seeing that work, and look forward to continuing to do that.
Now we move ahead to the current Badgers. The 2019 Badgers come into tonight's game against the Joe T. Robinson Senators, the second conference game of the season. Robinson defeated Fountain Lake last week in their conference opener. You take a look at the Senators, the team that will match up against tonight. Traditionally, an athletic team, going to have speed all over the place. I think I heard you describe them as maybe a little bit more athletic than Nashville, than what you saw. What are some things fans might be able to see tonight as they're watching this game?
Well, I think, Robinson, they've always got good players. They're always well coached, and so, I think the biggest thing that you're going to see is 2 good football teams competing. And, we look forward to the challenge. They've got some really, really skilled players. They're big and quick up front. Their offensive line is really good. Their defensive line is really good. And again, really special teams. They do a good job on special teams as well. So, and that's really anybody in our league. As far as coaching goes, we've got great coaches in our league, and Robinson has great coaches too. So, we look forward to a great challenge. We'll look forward to getting back onto the field, and can't wait to get after it tonight.
People say, a rematch of a championship game, but really when you look at it, 2 different teams, a lot of the same faces, but obviously you have faces that were there last year, they're graduating, you have new players on. So the schemes, some of the things you might see offensively, defensively may be similar, but personnel is different, so this makes this 2 entirely different teams in a different situation.
Yeah, every year is new. As much as you want to be able to rely on the previous year, whether it be good or bad, to move forward into this season. It's really hard to do that because it's a whole new year. It's a whole clean slate, and so as much as we've looked back at our films from previous games with Robinson, even more so we've looked at the games that they've played this year and how are they different, and what we need to do offensively, defensively, and on special teams to put together our best plan, and then relying on our players to execute that plan and do it full speed. But I feel really excited about our team being able to go to Robinson, and feel excited about our community being able to come out and support us, because I feel like we've got one of the best traveling communities in the state. Look forward to a great night of football.
Coach, we talk about key to the game every week, and I guess a coach who just hit record and play every week is going to be the one who makes the fewest mistakes, going to win the game, taking care of the football. And it sounds cliche, but it really, when it comes down to it, executing on those facets of the ball game really oftentimes does determine who comes out on the winning end of a game.
Yeah, that's the truth. I mean, and that's what we talk to our players about on a daily basis. We've got to be able to execute the best and play the hardest. And if we're able to do that, then, the results will take care of themselves. But we look forward to getting back out on the field and having the opportunity to compete and try to execute our best, play our best football tonight.
All right, our thanks to Arkadelphia head coach J.R. Eldridge for taking his time out to visit with us. We'll be back with more of the Southern Bancorp Badger pregame show after this timeout. After this 60-second timeout, you're watching Arkadelphia Badger football.
Under perfect conditions, your car traveling at 65 miles per hour can stop in about 300 feet. That's the length of a football field.
But a fully loaded tractor trailer, one that weighs 80,000 pounds, will take 2 football fields to stop. And that's if the driver is rested, paying attention, and the truck and load is properly maintained.
If you're in an accident with a big truck, call 1-800-CAR-WRECK.
Get the experienced team that's going to be on your side, by your side.
As a family-owned sporting goods supplier since 1950, Southwest Sporting Goods understands the value of customer service and is committed to providing the best quality customer service and merchandise available. Southwest Sporting Goods is located in Arkadelphia, but also has salesmen that cover the entire state of Arkansas to help ensure that their customers will receive the best customer service and pricing that can be found. Southwest Sporting Goods, located in downtown Arkadelphia, supporting the Badgers since 1950.
Every day is a good day to be a Badger, and this is a particularly good night to be a Badger because we've got beautiful weather here. Now, I assume the weather is better right now in Arkadelphia than it was earlier in the day because it just rained and rained and rained very hard. Rained very hard on the way up here to Little Rock, but it doesn't look like it's rained at all at Robinson High School. So it's a dry track. Everything looks great for the football game, and it's only 76 degrees. It may get into the 60s before this game is over here at Charlie George Stadium on the campus of Robinson High School. This is going to be a whale of a game. Jeff Root here along with Jim Rothwell and Chris Babb. Chris, let me start by saying this. We're on top of the press box, which I love. Thank you for setting up here. This is a beautiful spot to watch the game and to be able to call the game. I tell you what, though, they I guess because I've got gray hair, they gave me a stool to sit on. And it kind of has a spring cushion here. I'm afraid it's going to act like an ejector seat. So if I go over the front of the press box at some point, you have to take over the play-by-play, okay?
All right. Well, after we make sure you're okay, we'll get right to that. But yeah, Jeff, glad you're back in your. I was going to say in your seat, but against your play.
I don't know what this is.
Glad you're back in your stool, but no, nevertheless, glad you're back with us this week. The Badgers. You heard Coach Eldridge talk about. He talks a lot about responding to adversity. and that's what the Badgers are going to have to do tonight. They're going to have to respond. Coach Eldridge talked at the Arkadelphia Football Club Thursday that Sunday during their weekly film session, they clipped 13 plays from Tuesday's practice that they did not execute properly, and the same 13 plays in the game Friday night that were also not executed properly, using the point that you play like you practice. That was an emphasis starting Sunday afternoon. Coach Eldridge believes they had a better week of practice. Now, you don't know if that's going to translate into a win, but a better week of practice, it gives the coaching staff and the players belief that they will have a better performance than they did last week against Nashville.
Arkadelphia has 2 state championships, of course, back-to-back. Nothing to be said to draw back on that or to lessen the effect of a state championship. But Arkadelphia did not win the conference either of those years. They want to win tonight because they want a chance to still have that opportunity.
You would. Listening to and seeing this is another game of the week. Last week we talked about that with Coach Eldridge in the pregame show that was a game of the week. This is a game of the week, the Buzz High School game of the week. Every TV station was in Arkadelphia last week, made the shorter trip to Robinson today. These are what people believe would be the 3 strongest teams in this very strong 4A7. Heard Barry Groom say today that either Arkadelphia or Nashville or Joe T will be a 3 seed in the state playoffs. That's what Arkadelphia was last year. They'd like to stay away from that and have another home game or 2. And if you look at it's way too early to start talking about tiebreaker scenarios and things like that. But if Arkadelphia were to get a win against Robinson and Robinson defeats Nashville, you have the perfect triangle. You can start looking at things like that. But none of that matters except for the people up here on top of the press box. The people in between the lines are just going to be wanting to execute the best they can tonight.
Last week's matchup against Nashville could be the same 2 teams in the finals for the state tournament. You got the very same situation here. It could be Arkadelphia and Robinson that would come down to the finals just like last year. But I tell you what, Chris, Robinson really has something to prove now after being blasted by Arkadelphia in the finals by 28 points last year.
They really do, and I do want to take a little time out because it looks like we may be having some issues with our stream. We'll continue to monitor that, and hopefully we're not going in and out. But we'll take a look at that and see what we got. But it is, you don't want to say you're going to get revenge on a championship game. Robinson believes that there were some other factors that factored into that Arkadelphia 28-0 win. Arkadelphia believes that was how they should have played in the first. But this is a new season, completely the same uniforms. Well, Robinson doesn't have the same uniform, but they might change at halftime again. But the same teams, but different, same schools, same mascots, everything, but different personalities on these teams, although a lot of these players do return, so completely different ball game tonight.
I tell you what, let me bring Jim into the conversation. If, Chris, you want to check on our technical side to make sure that we're okay. Jim, this is going to be a whale of a football game. It's a very large crowd here to see it.
It is a great crowd for both sides. One other factor it's different. It's a little bit warmer than it was in December at War Memorial Stadium, and not as wet either.
Exactly. 76 degrees, make it down into the 60s, and it's beautiful. So I love, Jim, being up here on top. You remember those days on top of the old Haygood Stadium before it was Carpenter Haygood when we called the Badger games from up on top of that press box. Very similar situation here. We've got a wonderful view. We're going to give you a wonderful view also as we check on the technical side of things in this setup here on top of the press box, but we believe we're going to be able to bring you a great ball game tonight. Joe T. Robinson is a team that is 4-0, and they had a big win in their conference debut against Fountain Lake last week.
They do, and they have a great balance on their attack. Their quarterback, Buddy Gaston, is a tall quarterback. He's very strong-armed, and then they have a great running back to supplement that. So they've got a very balanced attack, which Arkadelphia will have to handle defensively.
Buddy Gaston is 6'4", 201 pounds. I mean, for many high schools, that's a lineman. For them, it's a very strong-arm quarterback.
It is, and again, they've got big linemen, offensive linemen, probably as big as, certainly as Washita or Henderson's offensive line at the college level. 280, 290, 300-pounders on the offensive line and the defensive line, too.
Now, we are getting a look now at the 50-yard line where the captains are out. Same captains, as always, for Arkadelphia. 2 captains out there for Robinson, but all of their seniors are lined up at the sideline at the 50-yard line, and it's a talented group, Jim.
It is. They've done very well over the last several years, and, again, they are motivated to pay back Arkadelphia for that championship game. Again, Arkadelphia's got a motivation of what happened during the regular season last year. So there's motivation on both sides in terms of getting getting back at the other team.
I suspect everybody in this stadium, Jim, here on the home side where it's a very large crowd, on the visitor side where Arkadelphia will fill up the visitor side, everybody knows that both of these teams are capable of winning a state championship this year.
That's true. Again, Nashville last week, and these two are among the probably top 4 or 5 in the state, and you would expect any of them to be at the state championship game, and perhaps 2 of the 3.
Robinson will receive the kickoff when we come back. We'll be back with the kickoff of Arkadelphia and Robinson after this.
Finally got me, Ben.
What's that, Rick?
The Clark Street crater, the mother of all potholes. For decades, it's tormented the people of this town. They try to fill it, but it always returns. Got me good.
But you know State Farm's got you, too.
You ain't nothing!
Are you trash talking a pothole?
Yeah. Yeah, I am.
Go with the one that's here to help life go right. State Farm.
Call State Farm. As a family-owned sporting goods supplier since 1950, Southwest Sporting Goods understands Farm Agent Austin Wingfield at 870-246-2162 today. As a family-owned sporting goods supplier since 1950, Southwest Sporting Goods understands the value of customer service and is committed to providing the best quality customer service and merchandise available. Southwest Sporting Goods is located in Arkadelphia, but also has salesmen that cover the entire state of Arkansas to help ensure that their customers will receive the best customer service and pricing that can be found. Southwest Sporting Goods, located in downtown Arkadelphia, supporting the Badgers since 1950.
Just a few seconds away from kickoff. This is Jeff Root along with me, Chris Babb and Jim Rothwell. On camera is Katie Hatchett. And we are excited to bring you this football game. A lot of excitement on both sides of the field. We're excited to bring it to you. It's going to be a wonderful football game tonight. Brought to you by the Rogers Department of Communications at Ouachita Baptist University in cooperation with the Arkadelphia Public Schools. And we're so pleased to be back on the air, on the radio in Arkadelphia. KSWH 102.5 The Pulse, bringing you the action tonight. Excited about that. Thank you, Henderson State University, as well, for that opportunity. It is 7 o'clock, and we're ready for the kickoff. Robinson, as you can see on the live stream, as you hear us on the radio, is going to return the kickoff to get us started tonight, and Arkadelphia will kick off.
Yeah, Arkadelphia.
Going, from the left to the right.
Yeah, Arkadelphia won the toss, deferred the option to the second half. One of the first times we've seen that in a while, but Arkadelphia will be on defense first tonight.
So Arkadelphia is set to kickoff. Savage has done a super job this year, Jim, in putting kicks near the end zone and then good coverage.
He really has. Again, a lot of them have been angled to the sideline, pinning the receiver back in the corner, and then the coverage has been great on those.
All right, Arkadelphia is set, and here is the kick. Savage puts foot into it. High kick is returnable, be returned from the 13-yard line. Coming across the middle, now breaking to the side and not getting anywhere on the return for Robinson is James Jordan.
Trey Bledsoe, nice job of kick coverage. Arkadelphia takes a lot of pride in special teams. Trey Bledsoe got down the right side of that Headhunters kickoff coverage team, forced the runner to the opposite side of the field. Trey Bledsoe was there for a nice open field solo tackle.
So Robinson will start at its own 18-yard line. Good coverage, as Chris said, by the Badgers.
Cannon Turner starting at safety.
And Buddy Gaston at quarterback, 6'4" quarterback for Robinson. Handoff on the first play. He'll make it to the 20, break a tackle there. He's up to the 24-yard line and driven out of bounds. A good run. He slipped a couple of times. Well, you don't think it's a wet turf, though. It looks to us like everything is in good shape here. The weather is perfect. That was Hunter Smith on the carry. That gain was up to the 23, make it the 24-yard line. So he picked up 6. Second down and 4 after the running play. Robinson, with its high-powered offense, has the ball first tonight. Dressed in black. They'll break it to the outside, looking for space. He's going to have some. To the 25-30, knocked down at the 36-yard line. That's a good run because, Chris, it didn't look like he had much, but he was able to break it to the outside, use a stiff arm, and get some yardage.
Yeah, Trey Bledsoe with the other tackle. First down for the Senators, and they're going to go fast, Jeff.
Hunter Smith at quarterback, or at running back, is a good one. Buddy Gaston at quarterback, and they do line up quickly. Now look to the sideline. Things will slow down just a bit. They spotted the ball at the 37, first down and 10 from there. Gaston at quarterback. Wants to pass for the first time tonight. He'll fire it downfield. It's complete to the 50, to the 45, to the 40-yard line. Still running. Arkadelphia trying to strip the ball, but he's going to gain yardage all the way up to the 37-yard line of the Badgers.
Yeah, I think he was kind of surprised he was a little bit that far open. He found the hole behind the linebackers. That was Martell Nunnally, the 5'10", 172-pound senior wide receiver. Gaston found him.
It was a good pass and a nice run after the catch right up the middle of the field. Same familiar one-back formation. Now they're going to hand it off. Smith is hit this time and won't gain very much. That's a good tackle by Arkadelphia. We're going to see a couple of Badgers and familiar names in on that tackle as Arkadelphia's all-state linebacker helped make that tackle. And then we saw also, I think I saw a defensive end dive in there.
Yeah, Kyron Harrison came from the outside linebacker position, got in there. Elijah Wheeler, Ricky Rogers, Terrell Sumler, Jason Campbell, those four experienced players on the defensive line for Arkadelphia.
Robinson lines up. Second down, 9 yards to go. They want to pass. He's looking deep. He throws across the middle of the field. It's complete at the 15-yard line. Tackle made inside the 10 at the 9-yard line. Cannon Turner, the safety, made the tackle but was there too late to prevent the reception.
A deep post route that time from Nunnally found the hole on that. He got behind the one-on-one coverage, got in front of the safety, and was able to make the catch.
P.J. Hall on the reception for Robinson. Talented receiver. And they're going to run again this time. They'll break one tackle, go inside the 5 to the 4-yard line.
Yeah, if you miss tackles in the backfield, Arkadelphia has had a chance. You're in position in the backfield to get tackle for loss, but not quite able to wrap up the defender, the ball carrier. Second and goal for Robinson.
Big offensive line for Robinson, and they are winning the line of scrimmage right now. We'll see what Arkadelphia can do with the ball inside the 5 on second down.
Single coverage on the right side for Gaston.
Buddy Gaston takes the snap, and he will hand off, and it's a big hit in the backfield. Excellent play. Getting in there for the Arkadelphia Badgers was Sammy Hawthorne.
Yeah, linebacker blitz, good call by Coach Kaiser, the defensive coordinator. Linebacker blitz from Sammy Hawthorne, caught the running back, found the gap, caught the running back in the backfield. Sure tackle there. Now it's third and goal from the 7.
Yeah, a loss all the way back to the 7. Scoreboard showing the 6, but it's really closer to 7 yards, we believe. So third down and goal from there. Might be a pass from Gaston. He looks across the middle of the field, a touchdown. Right across the middle, a crossing pattern, and he had an open receiver and hit him.
Yeah, Cannon Turner was the safety. Lucas Witherspoon was the corner on the left side. Cannon Turner had to leave his spot because they took a back out of the backfield to the right side of the end zone. A little crossing pattern there, and Arkadelphia wasn't able to defend both of those. And that was a touchdown for Nunnally, I believe, for the third down conversion for 6 points.
Now the all-important extra point. Kick is up, and the kick is right through the uprights. It's good. 9:07 left. We're in the first quarter, and it's Robinson 7, Arkadelphia 0, and the Badgers have not had the ball yet, but that will be changed in just a moment. We'll be back with more action in 30 seconds.
Locally owned and operated, Welch Funeral Home has been serving the Arkadelphia community since 2005. Our goal at Welch Funeral Home is to offer every family that will allow us to serve them the most caring, dignified, professional service at the most affordable price. With over 40 years of experience in the funeral home industry, owner Tim Welch and Welch Funeral Home have also been longtime supporters of the Arkadelphia Badgers and Lady Badgers. Contact Welch Funeral Home at 870-230-1400 or visit them at 202 South 4th Street near downtown Arkadelphia.
Teams will script their first possession, and Jim, that was scripted well. They ran it to perfection and got the touchdown.
They did. You can tell that usually teams start with some scripted plays, and they executed that extremely well. Again, the middle of the field was open on all three of those passes, and that's got to be with linebackers dropping correctly, and then the cornerback being able to get some pressure on them at the line of scrimmage to break up that timing.
Well rehearsed. Well executed, and Robinson leads 7-0. 9:07 left first quarter. Arkadelphia has not had the ball yet. We'll see if Arkadelphia can bounce back. The return men are playing up. Now they're going to back up as Robinson will set its formation for the kickoff. Their initial formation is always going to be the possibility of an onside kick, but this looks like it's going to be a high, short kick. A fair catch is called for by Sammy Hawthorne at the 31-yard line, and he makes that catch.
I just don't think very many people are going to kick it deep to Arkadelphia the rest of the season. Cannon Turner, Kyron Harrison, Buster Thomas all back there. Teams would rather give up a little bit of field position and force Arkadelphia to start around the 30 than risk having one go all the way back for a touchdown.
Probably works to Arkadelphia's advantage to a greater extent if they have that chance to return a kickoff, but starting at your own 31 is not bad at all. So Arkadelphia has the possession, 69 yards away from tying this game. Robinson leads at 7-0 after the initial possession of the game resulted in a touchdown for the Senators. On the first play from scrimmage, Arkadelphia wants to pass. Nobody in the backfield. A deep pass. There's an open receiver, and this is going to be a touchdown. Braden Thomas to the end zone, right down the middle of the field. Arkadelphia is on the board.
Well, that was fast. We've seen, you see this, it's single coverage. Buster Thomas gets by it. They let him go. The safety doesn't pick him up. Cannon Turner nicely lays the ball in. Buster Thomas, once you have him in the open field, you're not going to catch him. Jeff, you weren't here, but that was almost the exact same play, just flipped the sides that Arkadelphia almost scored on the last possession last week after Nashville's field goal. Buster Thomas almost had an 80-yard touchdown. Instead, right now, is 69-yard touchdown.
Extra point is up, and it is good. I was watching that play because I was tuned into your live stream last week. Now we get to talk about a tie game, 8:58 left in the first quarter. You want some excitement tonight, Chris? I think we're going to have it.
I think you might be right.
Arkadelphia and Robinson all tied up. We'll be back with more action in 30 seconds.
Everyone's known for something. Ours is simple. At the Southwest Auto Collection and iDriveSWA.com, you get the absolute lowest price on America's best brands. Ford, Lincoln, Chevy, GMC, Buick, and Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram. The best selection and the lowest prices guaranteed. And we deliver anywhere in the state, plus tires for life. It really is that simple. Visit us today, the Southwest Auto Collection, I-30 exit 78 in Arkadelphia, or online at iDriveSWA.com.
Well, it was a one-play drive, 69 yards. The pass from Cannon Turner to Braden Buster Thomas. And it's 7-7, 8:58 left in the first quarter. Two possessions, one for each team, two touchdowns. Arkadelphia now set to kick off, and they've had at least a little bit of time, although not a lot of time, to make some defensive adjustments. Here's the kickoff. Once again, Savage talented at this. Low line drive kick this time, but it will be fielded at the 14-yard line up to the 20-25-yard line. A big hit by Savage himself at the 32-yard line, and it's first down and 10 for the Senators.
Savage is the kicker, but he's not a stereotypical kicker. He's also a linebacker, likes to get in there, mix it up, make some tackles, and he got in there that time along with Trey Bledsoe. Now, Arkadelphia defense is going to try to respond, see if they have any adjustments. Cannon Turner still at safety. Kalen Jones, the other safety. Bledsoe and Lucas Witherspoon are the corners. Looks like Lucas Witherspoon on that far side is going to play a little bit closer up, maybe try to disrupt some of what Jim was talking about earlier.
It's been perfect timing, perfect passes, and a touchdown so far for Buddy Gaston. The 6'4 quarterback for Robinson takes the snap. Now he's going to keep the ball and just gain a couple. That's a victory for Arkadelphia, second down and 8.
Yeah, maybe a little bit of miscommunication between Gaston and his running back. Kyron Harrison was showing blitz from the left outside linebacker position in that 4-3 set, came around the backside. So if the running back had the ball, he was going to get it. And Gaston and the running back kind of ran that ball together for the short gain. They're going to just under, I guess, right at a yard, second down and 9.
They only gave him one, so it's second down, 9 yards to go. Gaston at quarterback. Hunter Smith next to him is a very good running back. Now he's going to split out a little bit. They'll bring Smith. Well, Smith was at receiver. Now he's going to be a running back. They'll fake it to him, roll out to the right, and throw the ball downfield. It is incomplete. He missed for the first time tonight. His intended receiver was a very fast wide receiver named Deontay Moody. He's a senior, 6 feet tall, but he just threw it in front of him.
Yeah, Moody was on the left side of that formation, went across the field, a little play action bootleg to the right side. Gaston just underthrew him. I believe the receiver had a step on Kalen Jones. They let him cross his face there. Third and long. Big play for the Badger defense early in the first quarter.
Third down, 9 yards to go. Gaston still in that shotgun. He'll be there every down, just like Arkadelphia's offense. He wants to throw the ball. He's under some pressure this time. He'll throw it to the sideline and throw it incomplete downfield. And so Arkadelphia is held. It's 4th and 9.
Yeah, that was a big play. The receiver on the right, I thought he may be going for a 10-yard out route, but he came towards the middle of the field. Gaston rolled to the far side, and there was nobody there. He had to get rid of the ball in order to avoid a long sack.
So Robinson, after that beautiful drive resulting in a touchdown on its first possession, will have to punt the ball after 3 plays and 1 yard gained on the second possession. Arkadelphia has 2 dangerous return men deep standing at their own 30-yard line. Here's the punt. Oh, it's end over end and very, very short. It'll bounce over the 50 and then go out of bounds. So Arkadelphia is going to have very good field position.
I don't think I'd want to punt to Kai Harrison and Buster Thomas either, but another good field position for the Badgers. They're going to put that ball right at midfield.
You often see punters kick it very high and very short and then hope for a good bounce. That time it was end over end and very low, and it took a bounce out of bounds. To Arkadelphia's advantage, the Badgers take over, as Chris said, right at the 50-yard line. 3 receivers to the right side, 2 to the left side. Nobody in the backfield, no running back, just the quarterback, Cannon Turner, who is, of course, a dangerous runner. He will run the ball himself, running out of the pocket. He's trying to get back to the line of scrimmage, and he'll lose a yard on the play. I think he wanted to pass that time, but Jim didn't have the opportunity. So after a loss of 2, it's going to be 2nd down, 12 yards to go. Ball at the 48-yard line. The Badgers are going to line up once again. And Arkadelphia this time will line up with a running back. That's Kai Harrison. They're going to throw across the field. Incomplete. Tried to get it to Thomas. Just missed him at the 42-yard line. 3rd down, 12 yards to go. So both offenses look great, scored on their first possessions. Both offenses struggling on their second possessions, but Arkadelphia has one more chance. It's 3rd down and 12. Ball at the Arkadelphia 48-yard line. Ricky Rogers Jr., Buster Thomas, both to the left side. They will send Whitten to the right side, and Harrison is in the backfield. They'll bring Thomas in motion. Now he'll cut down the field, but it looks like a blitz, and they're going to catch the quarterback. A loss again. Linebacker came in, filled the hole that Turner wanted to run through, and they'll lose yardage back to the 42. So a loss of 8 yards on that possession, and Arkadelphia will punt the ball away.
Yeah, the offense has won the first respective drives. The defense has won the second drives. I have a feeling Arkadelphia has a better chance of getting a little bit better of a punt off with Cannon Turner. They do put a punt returner deep, though, so Robinson will try to return this punt.
He'll back up to punt distance, no rush, and he will kick the ball away. Let's see if it is returned. It'll bounce at the 25 and go out of bounds, but that's still, in the trade of punts, is going to help Arkadelphia a little bit on the field position. So Robinson will take over. Tie game at 7. The Senators will have the ball at their own 21-yard line momentarily. 6:36 left in the first quarter. Each team has 7 points. Well, hard to explain, Chris. Great offense for the first possession for each team. The second possession, Arkadelphia went backwards. Robinson gained 1 yard, couple of punts. But that punt was effective for Arkadelphia. No return, and it was long enough to set up Robinson just at the 21-yard line. 3 receivers to the right side in the formation for the Senators. 1 running back. And now Buddy Gaston apparently sees something because he walks to his center and maybe is changing the play again. He wants to throw across the middle. It's intercepted. Intercepted, return by Cannon Turner to the 30, to the 20, to the 10. He's got speed. He's in the end zone. Arkadelphia intercepts a pass and scores a touchdown.
Man, that was fortunate for Arkadelphia that was an overthrown pass. Cannon Turner camped out back there and was able to catch it. But Gaston, you mentioned Gaston saw something. He had 2 over 1 on the right side. Kyron Harrison was going to have to pick one of those. Gaston waited for Kai to decide. Then he went for the one that was open, just overthrew him by about 5 yards, right into the hands of Cannon Turner, who had a lot of open field in front of him.
Extra point attempt coming now. Savage is set. Turner is the holder. The kick is up, and the kick is perfect. Guys, give a signal. There you go. It's perfect. So it's Arkadelphia 14, Robinson 7. 6:25 left in the first quarter. Arkadelphia scored once with its offense, once with its defense. And Robinson will get the ball back trailing for the first time in the game when we come back. We'll be back in 60 seconds.
At Eccles, Thompson, and Kneebone CPA, we seek to provide accounting, tax, and financial planning services to individuals and small businesses with proficiency and integrity. Serving Arkadelphia since 1977, our staff looks forward to meeting your financial goals of today and also becoming your financial advocate for life. Visit us at 205 North 25th Street or call 246-8991 today. Eccles, Thompson, and Kneebone LTD says Go Badgers.
For over 75 years, Mary and Martha's Florist and Gifts on Main Street in Arkadelphia has served the people of Arkadelphia and her surrounding communities, providing a wide variety of floral and gift needs. Do you have a special occasion that calls for just the right touch of creativity? Join the many who call David Goodman at Mary and Martha's to create a floral arrangement to fit their needs and budget. Call Mary and Martha's at 870-246-2446 or visit their location at 921 Main Street in Arkadelphia. Mary and Martha's Florist is a proud supporter of the Arkadelphia Badgers.
Robinson was called for a penalty on the extra point, so it's a short kickoff from the 50-yard line. It will be returned to the 21-yard line, and Robinson is right back where it was a moment ago, starting with a 1st and 10 at its own 21-yard line. Major infraction against Robinson gave Arkadelphia a chance to kick it in the end zone. They kicked it short instead, but he still just got to the 21-yard line. Buddy Gaston looked perfect on the first possession for Robinson, but he just threw an interception for a touchdown. We'll see what they will decide to attack Arkadelphia with, and they're going to change their formation. Running back on each side of Gaston at quarterback in the shotgun. Different formation this time for Robinson. They're going to have a lead blocker and a running play, but Arkadelphia defends it well. It's a short game.
Yeah, Kyron Harrison, one of those captains. You know, Gaston made a switch. He called the Arkadelphia defense either knew the signal or knew the sign or whatever it was. They signaled to each other what to expect. Kyron Harrison came in from that left outside linebacker position. Kyron Harrison is hard to bring down when he has the ball. But if you have the ball, you're going to come down.
Yeah, exactly. What a tackler he is on defense. All-state linebacker. Gain of only 1. 2nd down and 9 yards to go. Gaston now has 1 back instead of 2. But he is going to pass the ball, and it's incomplete. He threw it behind his intended receiver, who got both hands on it at the 31-yard line, but could not pull it in. And suddenly, it's 3rd down and 9.
You know, Gaston has some time, but he's still got 4 pretty good defensive linemen coming at him. You talked about that size of the Robinson line. That is a huge left tackle. I believe that's the Harris, the sophomore, who's already been offered by everybody at the Power 5 level. So there's some big guys on that line, but the Arkadelphia defensive line can help those out by getting some pressure on Gaston.
3rd down, 9 yards to go. They want to throw the ball. They'll go to the flat, and he overthrows his open receiver at the 25. I don't think, Chris, he would have made a first down anyway. Would have had to break a tackle by Sammy Hawthorne, but still, he never had a chance. His quarterback overthrew him, and it's 4th down and 9. Gaston looked so good on the first possession, has struggled on the 2nd and 3rd.
Yeah, I believe you're right. I think Arkadelphia had that one coached up and executed well. Sammy Hawthorne, Kyron Harrison were out there. I don't think it would have been enough for a first down if the tackle is made, but Arkadelphia didn't have to worry about it because the pass again was overthrown.
Badgers should get really good field position out of this now. Here's the kick. It's going to sail down. Ooh, and I believe that was muffed by a Badger, and Robinson's going to get the football. Robinson's going to get the football as Thomas tried to field the ball with a player right on him, and he couldn't hold on to it.
Yeah, mental error there by the Badgers, and just you can't afford to have those. Defense has done a great job on the previous 6 plays, and now you've got to come up with another one. Buster Thomas, I thought he signaled for fair catch, but he just took his eyes off of the ball at the last second and let the ball hit his hands.
Got to appreciate the fact that he's hungry to return a punt. He's not had many chances to do that as they kick it away from him, but that time he didn't handle it. Here's a run up the middle, a gain of 8, 9, 10 yards. Good blocking, trap blocking right up the middle, and a nice gain. It's going to be 2nd and 1.
Yeah, that happens so often when you have a little switch of momentum. You're able to get ahead of the chains, and now Robinson 2nd and 1.
Badgers line up defensively. Robinson will now look to the sideline, take a little bit longer. Lots of time left on the play clock, 20 seconds. Buddy Gaston at quarterback. 2 receivers to the right side, 2 to the left side. Arkadelphia looking for a pass. They get a run instead and yardage. Up to the 25, to the 20. He'll break a tackle and be knocked down inside the 5. I mean, that's an excellent run, and Robinson has a chance to tie this game up.
Yeah, a good single tackle that time by Kalen Jones, not letting the running back in the end zone, but it is 1st and goal. Robinson had 1st and goal on their first drive of the game, was able to convert after Arkadelphia pushed for a loss on 2nd down on a 3rd and long. Arkadelphia is going to try to stiffen up again here inside the red zone.
They are loading the left side. Let's see if they'll run in that direction. They're loading the left side of the line. Oh, and there is a 5-yard penalty against Robinson as their tight end moved.
Yeah, you see a little bit different set there. You have the running back and the Wildcat. Everybody just a little bit too ready to go. The left tight end there jumped, and that's a big play for Arkadelphia. Actually, now what are we going to talk about here?
I don't know. It seemed very, very obvious. Even the tight end was upset with himself, it looked like, but they haven't marked off the penalty yet. They're just having a discussion about it.
Well, and the more they talk, the worse it goes for Arkadelphia. Yeah, now they call the false start.
Well, they were careful. They just wanted to talk about it, have a committee meeting, but they got it right. 5-yard penalty against Robinson, back to the 10-yard line. They're on the left hash mark. Arkadelphia 14, Robinson 7, 4:24 left first quarter. 1st down and goal, now from the 10 instead of the 5. 2 receivers right side, 2 left side, running play right up the middle. There's a nice tackle by Rogers, and they're still at the 10-yard line.
Yeah, good job by the interior of that Arkadelphia defensive line. Ricky Rogers, Lorenzo Lawson, they're on the line. Terrell Sumler, Jason Campbell. Campbell and Rogers are the ends. Sumler and Lawson, they're stuffing up the middle. Good job by that run defense, holding their blocks and forcing a no gain.
Lots of time on the play clock, and Robinson's taking quite a bit of time. Of course, they're not huddling, but they are standing and looking at the sideline to get the play. They've got it now, and they're going to line up. 2 receivers to the right, 2 to the left, same formation. Running back to the right of the quarterback in the shotgun. They're going to run it again, and once again, there's nowhere to go. I'm not sure he got back to the line of scrimmage.
He didn't. Cole Turner came from an outside linebacker blitz from the right side of the Arkadelphia defense, and he was able to time that snap perfectly, get in the backfield, and force a loss. So now a 3rd and 11. Robinson had 3rd and goal from the 9 on the first possession of the game. They were able to get a touchdown. They have 3rd and goal from the 11 here. Big play for this Arkadelphia defense. The first touchdown was a crossing route, and they hit the outside receiver coming to the middle of the field.
Here's Gaston at quarterback. It's been some good, been some bad for him tonight. Pass across the middle of the field. It's intercepted again. Here comes Cole. No, this is Cannon Turner. He's knocked out at the 10-yard line. He's got his 2nd interception. They ran the same play, I believe, Chris.
Yep.
But it went across the middle, and Turner was waiting for it.
Yeah, Turner was lined up as a safety in the center of the end zone, and he read that one. He picked it off, overthrown again. You almost wish he would have just downed it. He does have good speed, pretty ambitious there, but the only negative of that play is that it cost Arkadelphia 11 yards on a field position. However, if that had been an incomplete pass, they would have had the ball just 2 yards from where they are now. Regardless, huge play by the Arkadelphia defense again.
2 interceptions tonight for Cannon Turner. You heard that right. The quarterback playing safety has 2 interceptions tonight. He also has a touchdown pass of 69 yards. And he's back on the field now at the position of quarterback. Kai Harrison, who is just playing linebacker, is the running back. They're going to run the ball with Harrison. Harrison will make it to the line of scrimmage, get maybe 2 yards if they give him the spot at the 11. Yep. 2nd down and 8. Clock running. We're under 3 minutes left in the very exciting first quarter here at Robinson, with Arkadelphia leading 14-7.
First carry of the game for Kai. Single back set, 3 wide receivers, 2 to the left, 1 to the right. Arkadelphia tried to spread Joe T. Robinson out and get some penetration up the middle, but now they didn't. Now they're going with a similar set to what they had on the first play of the game. That was a 69-yard touchdown from Turner to Thomas.
They're going to send Harrison in motion, but Turner will keep the ball and just get back to the line of scrimmage, if that much. It's going to be 3rd down and long, as Robinson's defense has responded well to the run tonight.
Yeah, it's going to be the read option is going to be tough. And if you saw on the top of your screen there, as soon as Cannon Turner kept that ball, there was an outside linebacker there to tackle Kyron Harrison, much like you would see on an option play, always getting the pitch man. That's what Robinson did on that play. Cannon Turner was stopped for no gain, bring up 3rd and 8.
3rd down, 8 yards to go. Ball at the 11-yard line. Badgers on their own end of the field after an interception. Turner wants to pass. He'll throw it. That's complete to the 15-20. First down to the 25. Kyron Harrison out to the 29-yard line.
Wow, Harrison out of the backfield. They ran Buster Thomas in motion from the left to the right, and the defensive backs thought the ball was going to go to Buster. He drew two into the defensive backfield, and that left Kyron Harrison wide open underneath out of the backfield and was able to get a big first down for Arkadelphia.
Clock now at 1:35 and running in the first quarter. Arkadelphia leads by 7.
Just got to make sure Buster doesn't turn that upfield just before the snap. Just really close on a couple of those.
On first down, running play. This is Cannon Turner. He's got some room out to the 35-40. A flag down as he goes out at the 45-yard line. It would be a first down, but it's in a spot where you sometimes see an illegal block.
Yeah, we saw one of the Senators that was in pursuit. Arkadelphia is backing up. I think it's a hold. I thought it might have been a block in the back. But it is a hold on Arkadelphia, put Arkadelphia behind the chains. The flag was thrown at the 34, I believe, so they're going to take that one back to the 24. So first and about 15 for the Badgers now.
Yeah, fortunately it was at least 5 yards downfield, so first and 15 instead of first and 20. And Cannon Turner, who had a nice gain. I mean, that was a gain of about 16 yards, but called back. Still first down, but now they have first and 15. One wide receiver to the left, and he's far to the left. In motion, right to left comes Thomas. And Thomas has the ball, trying to make it to the corner. He's not going to make it. Good speed for Robinson. Cut off the play before he could get to the corner, and it's a loss.
I'd like to say that tackle was made by Robinson. Those numbers sure are hard to read. That was Hunter Smith, the 6', 175-pound safety and running back. He was able to shed one block and get Buster Thomas in the backfield, second and long for the Badgers.
Boy, if you can beat Buster to the sideline, you've got some speed. And he does. He's an outstanding running back,
and
too.
The coaches knew that about Robinson. This is probably be one of the speediest teams Arkadelphia plays this year.
Second down, 17 yards to go for Arkadelphia, and they do want to throw it now. Here's a throw into the flat, and here's a little bit of room to run, but he's got to defeat two defenders. He does, up to the 30, 35, down to the 39-yard line. Depends on the spot, Chris, but I think he's got it. Let's see.
I think he's got it, too, Jeff. Jim, you were here last week. You remember the catch that Kyron Harrison had with his one hand out of the backfield, and that was similar to that catch. He had a long first down reception against Nashville last week. He had another long one today, and that is big. And that far side judge is going to signal first down. He's not even saying we should measure. Now they're going to signal the change.
They were careful about it. No problem with that. But the front of the football is touching the 39-yard line on the hash mark. So that was a good run after the catch and a first down for the Badgers. Gain of 17 on the play.
Yeah, we got 15 seconds left in the quarter. The play clock is not going to have to do so. Arkadelphia is going to let this one roll down to the end of the quarter.
Arkadelphia 14, Robinson 7, 3, 2, 1, and we have reached the end of the first quarter. A very exciting second quarter is coming your way in 60 seconds.
Thanks for meeting me here.
No problem. You know, Farm Bureau Insurance has local agents making this kind of thing real easy.
Well, your auto insurance has saved me a lot on old Becky here.
Harold, your dog swallowed the remote again.
Who's that?
Older Becky.
Oh. Ugh.
Real service, real people. That's Farm Bureau Insurance.
Call Clark County Farm Bureau today at 870-246-4554. Turner, Rogers, Manning & Plyler CPA is a longtime supporter of the Arkadelphia Public School District. Turner, Rogers, Manning & Plyler has established a reputation for providing clients with outstanding services that include auditing, accounting, and tax and business consulting. Contact Turner, Rogers, Manning & Plyler today at 870-246-4563 or by visiting them at 305 Professional Park Drive in Arkadelphia. Turner, Rogers, Manning & Plyler says, Go Badgers!
Second quarter action coming your way. Arkadelphia has a first down and 10 at its own 39-yard line. Badgers on the right hash mark as they travel from our right to our left here at the press box. Here's a run by Cannon Turner, and he's going to have a little bit of room up to the 43-yard line for a gain of 4. Second down and 6 yards to go. In the first quarter, the first touchdown was on the first drive of the game. Gaston passed to Nunnery for a touchdown. Extra point was good. 9:07 left in the first quarter. It was 7-0. And then Arkadelphia had a one-play 69-yard drive for a touchdown. Turner to Thomas for that score. Savage made the extra point 7-7 with still 8:58 left in the first quarter. And then an interception by Cannon Turner, and he ran it back for the Arkadelphia lead at 14-7. Here's a pass, and it's going to go the opposite direction. Intercepted, and Turner is not going to be able to run down the defensive back who will make it to the end zone. So Arkadelphia made the same mistake that Robinson made in the first quarter, and this game is going to be tied up if they make the extra point.
Yeah, tough read that time by tough break against the Badgers. Miscommunication, or don't know what happened there. Don't have the replay, but that was there was no Badger over there. Cannon Turner just found the defensive back for Robinson, and now we're all square at 14 after this extra point. So 2 offensive touchdowns and 2 defensive touchdowns for each team tonight. Excuse me, 1 apiece for each team.
That was not an overthrow like the Arkadelphia touchdown on an interception return, just probably misread a bit. James Jordan jumped in front of the ball, made a nice play defensively for Robinson. The extra point attempt is up. Arkadelphia almost blocked it, but it's good. And so this game is tied at 14. 11:18 left. We're in the second quarter tonight. We'll be back in 30 seconds.
Arkadelphia 14.
Call State Farm agent Austin Wingfield at 870-246-2162 today.
Well, not the start to the second quarter that Arkadelphia was looking for. An interception by Robinson, returned for a touchdown. Jordan made the big play. Now the game is tied at 14, 11:18 left. We're in the second quarter, and Arkadelphia will at least now get the ball back. So Cannon Turner is going to go out to hopefully return this kickoff. Back there with Buster Thomas. Even if they are not given the chance to do that, they'll both line up offensively here in just a moment. So each quarterback has looked really great at times, and each quarterback has thrown an interception for a touchdown. Game tied at 14. Nervous game last week, a one-point loss against Nashville. 2 teams evenly matched. Same story tonight. 2 really outstanding teams. This could be a matchup again in the finals. Here's a high kickoff, and it will bounce at the 31 and then go out of bounds. So there's a penalty, and Arkadelphia will have good field position to get this drive started. They are not going to give Arkadelphia's return men a chance on either a kickoff or punt return tonight.
No, they're not. Obviously, Arkadelphia has some weapons back there in the backfield returning kicks, and they're not going to allow Arkadelphia to return any of those. They're going to force Arkadelphia to go 65 yards on this drive. Arkadelphia will have to respond after a tough offensive drive that time with the interception return for a touchdown.
Badgers have the ball at their own 35-yard line on the right hash mark. We're early in the second quarter of a tie game, 14-14. Cannon Turner at quarterback will hand it off. Here is Kai, and he's going to have a little bit of yardage up to the 38, maybe the 39-yard line with a good spot. And they're going to give him 4. Second down and 6 for Arkadelphia. Get back to the basics. The handoff to a very tough running back in Kai Harrison. And he got yardage to the right side to the tune of 4 yards. On second down and 4, Arkadelphia has plenty of time to line up. They'll look to the sideline and get a play. Still 10:50 left here in the second quarter. Turner looks over the defense. Now he brings Harrison in motion. Now he's going to keep the ball. He will be hit before he can be back to the line of scrimmage, but he's going to struggle forward to the 40, just over the 40-yard line. Third down coming, though. Third and about 4.5, maybe 5 when they spot the ball. And it's going to be a really important third down. Even though we're in the first half, the game is tied now, and Arkadelphia had the lead until that interception. So, Chris, this is a big play.
Yeah, big play for Arkadelphia. They're going to go twins to the left, Kyler Pfeiffer and Buster Thomas on the left side, Staten Whitten on the right side with Ricky Rogers at fullback.
Rogers is going to block. Now he's going to go out for a pass. They're going to throw it to him. Ricky makes the catch. He'll fall down right at the marker. Just depends on the spot.
I believe they're going to.
Oh, my. Yeah, his knee went down before he fell forward, and they're going to mark him a yard short. Yeah. I think he's about a half yard short, so that's not a great spot. but it's 4th down and 1 for Arkadelphia. The offense is out there because they'll either quick kick or go for it. Arkadelphia at its own 44-yard line. I really felt like he was closer to the 45. They got to make a full yard if they decide to go for it. From the 44, Arkadelphia lines up as if they will go for it, but now he's going to back up. So let's see if he kicks it. He will punt. Nobody is deep. It's a short punt, though, and a flag goes down. And it just sailed out of bounds, unfortunately. A very short kick for Arkadelphia to the 36-yard line of Robinson. But let's see what the flag is all about.
I think that may just be a sideline warning. One of the Robinson coaches was running down the sideline with the official. I think that might just be a sideline warning, and it is on the Robinson coach there. You might end up seeing it was one in the red hat was furious about something, so he ran down the sideline in the white during the play. Official bumped into him, so it's a standard sideline warning penalty against not a penalty, a warning. The next one would be a penalty against the Senators.
And they have successfully backed up that coach. He's going to call that. It looked like he's calling the play right here. We'll see. But it's a short kick, so good field position for the Senators. Robinson, if they can score, can take the lead in the game. They led at 7-0. Then it was tied up. Arkadelphia led 14-7. Now it's 14-14. Running play right up the middle, a gain of 3 on 1st down. They came right at Arkadelphia, and the Badger defensive lineman responded.
Robinson hasn't had a ton of success up the middle. They've had a couple of, obviously that first drive went down with a lot of passing. Haven't had a ton of success up the middle, but we are early in the second quarter. 2 good offenses, 2 good defenses scoring up tonight.
And that was a pickup of only 2. On 2nd down and 8, another running play. They'll come to the right side this time. Smith looking for some room, and he's going to have some. Not enough for a 1st down, but a good run. And they're going to spot the ball at the 43-yard line. So they still need 3 more yards for a 1st down.
Yeah, Ethan Savage from that left linebacker position set the edge, forced the runner back upfield. Defensive line and the other linebackers couldn't quite get there fast enough to have a tackle in the backfield, and he was able to get 5 yards on that one, so bring up a big 3rd and 3 play for the Badger defense, try to stop the Senator offense. They've gone on the ground a lot after Gaston looked a little bit shaky in the air.
On 3rd down and 3, they're going to hand it off. They come to the right side. Arkadelphia hits the runner. He's going to make not enough. I think he's going to be short, Chris.
Yeah, they're going to.
A big hit on the carry that time was Darrell Searcy Jr. He's 6 feet, 196, but he was squared up and driven backwards.
Yeah, just shy of the 45-yard line. It's a great spot by the officials. Good tackle that time by Arkadelphia's defense. I think Cole Turner was in there. Big stop that time for Arkadelphia. 4th and 1. See what happens here. It'll be an interesting play if Robinson tries to go for it.
They're going to line up as if they will go for it, but we'll see if they will quick kick or if they'll go for the 1st down. A little bit different situation because they're up at their own 45-yard line. Now they're going to talk about it. They need a full yard and maybe another foot or so for a 1st down, and we'll see if they'll get it when we come back. The game is tied at 14, 7:31 left, 2nd quarter. We'll be back in 30 seconds.
Angry Goat Media is home to Follow the Badgers. Get your business booming today with the exceptional web design and development, photography, video production, and graphic design services. Angry Goat Media is the perfect company to get the job done. We're always ready to customize our services to your business requirements, needs, and budgets. Angry Goat Media. Innovation, not imitation.
Angry Goat Media. They've been a big help to us, Chris.
No doubt. Mike Meeks has done a great job with a lot of the graphics that you've seen, a lot of the videos, the hype videos. We're working on something, a special next week for homecoming, the homecoming broadcast. Thanks to Mike Meeks of Angry Goat Media for his contributions to our broadcast this year, no doubt.
A lot of time to think about what they'd like to do. Robinson has been in a huddle. Now they're going to come out of it. The Arkadelphia defense is waiting for them. Arkadelphia not in its punt return formation because they expect
they don't have the
anything to happen. They're going to line up in a pistol formation instead. We'll see if they will, in fact, go for it, and they will. Quarterback will keep it. He's hitting the backfield. He's not going to make it. What a great job by Arkadelphia's defense.
Kyron Harrison shot the gap, hit J.T. Towers. As soon as he got the snap, J.T. Towers, the transfer from Glen Rose, got the snap and got popped as soon as he got the ball right there at the line of scrimmage, and that was a huge tackle by Kyron Harrison.
After the big hit, he got some help from teammates, and then Harrison actually picked up the legs of the quarterback so that he could not advance further. When you got a hold of both legs, it's hard for the guy to make any yardage.
Big play by the Arkadelphia defense, particularly first there, Kyron Harrison with the big hit on Towers.
Ball at the 44-yard line of Robinson. The Arkadelphia offense is back out on the field. Now, here's a golden opportunity for the offense to retake the lead. It is 14-14, 7:25 left. We are in the second quarter. In motion comes Thomas. Running with him as the quarterback, but flags go down and they'll stop the play.
They're going all sides on the defense.
Yeah, that's going to be against Robinson. They jumped into the zone too soon, so that'll move it inside the 40.
Yeah, free 5 yards for the Badgers, 1st and 5.
There you go, pointing in the right direction. There we go.
He was looking on this side for his spot, but the official had already moved down to where it was going to be, so the umpire was looking to make sure he had the right initial start.
Chris, this is a high-pressure game for the officials, and they're doing a fine job so far. So they'll mark off that 5. First down and 5. Same play, but they'll keep it. Now throw it incomplete. That was a nicely designed play. They looked like they were going to run the same play, Chris, but instead the quarterback, Turner, stopped, threw the ball downfield, but it was tipped at the line of scrimmage and incomplete.
I think that one was tipped by the defensive lineman Harris there in the middle. Kyron Harrison was running that route. We saw the Arkadelphia junior high team score on that play last night, a very similar looking play, but the ball was tipped out of the hand of Turner.
And Marion Harris is 6'6". Here is a running play. Turner trying to get around the corner. He'll break a tackle. He's trying to make it down for a first down. I think he's going to have it, Chris, across the 35 to the 31.
I think Robinson was expecting a block in the back on the far side. Ja'Shawn Davis, it was not called. Arkadelphia gets a break and gets a first down at the 31. I was surely expecting to see a yellow flag come out on that one, but it did not, and we'll take it.
Well, we've already complimented the officials once tonight. We'll do it again. Nice no call.
Yeah.
First down and 10 from the 31-yard line. Let them play. Why not? Arkadelphia on first down will run the ball. Here's Harrison. He's up to the 26-yard line, hit by 3 Senators. He'll make it to the 25, but that's a good gain on first down.
Yeah, get ahead of the chain. 6 yards on first down, you'll take that every time. If you can get 3, 4, 5 yards of play, you're ahead of the chains. It allows Coach Moreland, the offensive coordinator, to open up what you're going to do a little bit. You get the defense on their heels, especially here with 6:25 remaining in the second quarter, needing to go up a score.
Yeah, they're beginning to eat up some clock as well. On second down and 4 from the 25-yard line, Arkadelphia will keep the ball up the middle. Turner, he's got a first down, hurdles over a defender and comes down at the 15-yard line.
Big job by the Arkadelphia offensive line to open up that hole. Lorenzo Lawson, Jaden Quarles, Matt Parnham, the left tackle, Cat Betts in the center, London Cotton on the right side. But that was Jaden Quarles, the left guard, getting out, pushing his defensive tackle outside, allowing Cannon Turner to go up the middle and get big gain for first down.
Yeah, that was a 10-yard gain, about 4 of it in the air. Good leaping by Turner. He wants to pass. He'll throw it into the flat. It's intercepted. It's going to happen again. This is going to be a return for a touchdown. They got over there in the flat and just got higher than the Badgers and got it.
We've got a flag right here, and I think we're going to have a sideline. This is a sideline penalty. Now, if this is going to be during the play, the official was bumped, so I think this may not stand as a touchdown. All right, I don't know what the ruling is, but there's a sideline warning. I don't know if that's an after-the-play foul or they are calling for the ball, so I guess the touchdown will be good, but maybe this flag is way back here on the 32 of Robinson.
The flag has not been picked up.
Now he's running down to pick up his flag.
Twice we have seen throws into the right flat turn into touchdowns for Robinson.
Interesting.
Sideline warning, Robinson, that's their second warning. 75 yards to be assessed on the kickoff.
And they're going to assess it on the kickoff. There you go.
Yep.
Probably a reaction to the interception. He ran onto the field, but they're not going to call the play back. They're going to simply mark it off on the kickoff. So the Arkadelphia offense had a great opportunity, moved the ball extremely well to the 15, but for the second time, a throw into the flat has been intercepted for a touchdown by Robinson.
Yep. Kyron Harrison was there. It was overthrown just a hair, and you could kind of see it. Our angle of the camera, you could kind of see if that ball goes over the head of Kyron Harrison, then that might be what happened. And unfortunately for the Badgers, that's exactly what happened there.
There were two defenders there. It looked like they were looking for that play, and they got it. Extra point attempt on the way. The kick is up, and the kick just barely makes it, but does go through. 5:45 left, second quarter. Robinson now leads at 21-14. There have been a couple of offensive touchdowns tonight, and there have been 3 defensive touchdowns, 2 for Robinson, 1 for Arkadelphia. Crazy game, folks. We got a lot of first half left, and we'll bring it to you in 30 seconds.
Turner & Turner is a general practice law firm that focuses on consumer protection, personal injury, and civil litigation. To us, the practice of law is about service. Our clients aren't just cases to us. They are people who need our help solving legal issues. Turner & Turner actively supports local civic and charitable groups. Our attorneys will take the time to get to know you, your circumstances, and your goals. Turner & Turner Law Firm. We're in this together. Your team and ours.
5:45 left in the second quarter. It is Robinson 21, Arkadelphia 14. Robinson has 2 defensive touchdowns, interception returns. Arkadelphia has an interception return for a touchdown.
Would like to thank our second quarter sponsor, Turner, Rogers, Manning, and Plyler. Their logo in the top right corner. If you missed something, I'm sorry, but we thank our sponsors for making you able to watch this. So
no doubt about that.
Yeah. If you would like to watch it, we would like to thank our sponsors and have their logos where they paid for them to be.
We know we've got a lot of folks watching from across the country, especially former Badgers. We'll talk about the class of 79 here in just a few moments. They're going to have a reunion, championship team of 79. Kick is high, returnable to the 40, 45-yard line. Cannon Turner down at the 49-yard line. He's going to be a little bit slow getting up as he was really hammered as he got close to midfield. Going to have to hope the quarterback is okay and is going to stay in this football game. But that is a nice return, setting up Arkadelphia for what they hope will be a 51-yard drive to tie the game.
Yeah, 5:39 remaining in the second quarter. The Badgers need to respond offensively here. See what happens. You see the Badger offense meeting on the far side. They're trying to get a signal from Cannon on whether he's can come in or not. And it looks like he's going to go talk to the athletic trainer. And Arkadelphia is going to go, most likely, I would bet, with Buster Thomas at quarterback now.
Emarion Harris is one excited defensive lineman, also an offensive lineman, only a sophomore. He's 6'6", 305, son of Elliott Harris, the all-conference Arkansas Razorback from a couple of decades ago. And there'll be a timeout on the field as Arkadelphia, I think, wants to talk about it. A golden opportunity for Arkadelphia at 51 yards away. We'll keep it right here and talk with Chris about the fact that Arkadelphia has had some things go wrong, no doubt, but the offense has moved the ball. If they can do it again into the end zone, this game could be tied at halftime. And right now, that would look like a victory.
Yeah, big response needed by the Arkadelphia offense on this possession. Short field, 51 yards to go. The offense really needs to put something together. Buster Thomas going to come out at quarterback, and he's going to run the offense. You got Kyron Harrison in the backfield. Buster was a quarterback in junior high, an excellent runner, excellent passer. He's going to have to get it going here with a short field.
From the 49-yard line, running play, and this is going to be Kyron Harrison. He is going to be stuffed, but he's going to fight for yardage anyway, and Harrison is a great fighter, so he's going to get about 3 yards on the play.
They're going to say 4-yard gain on the play. They blew that one dead. Robinson's yelling for the ball, but there's no way you're going to get that call after you get across to the 47-yard line, then you get popped back. That was, and then the ball comes out. You're not going to get that. 2nd and 6 for Arkadelphia.
Yeah, he was laying on the ground long after the whistle when the ball came free. But Robinson's very excited right now, and they did respond. It was a gain of 4, 2nd down, 6 yards to go. Arkadelphia continues to move the football. Just got to stay away from turnovers for the rest of this football game. Another running play. This is Harrison again. He'll dodge to the inside now, break to the outside. He will be hit and will spin and will make some yardage. Up inside the 40, that's first down. Man, that's a nifty run.
Yep. Kyron Harrison does not go down on first contact very often, and most of the time it's 4th or 5th contact and he got that first down. After he got outside, had a great block from Ricky Rogers there on the outside, I believe. But after that initial contact, the rest of those yardage were all Kai Harrison. Big first down for Arkadelphia.
From the 37-yard line of Robinson, the Arkadelphia offense lines up. 3 receivers to the wide side of the field, the right side, 1 to the left side. The quarterback is Thomas, with Cannon Turner out right now after that big hit on the kickoff return. Thomas wants to run. He's got a little bit of yardage up to the 32-yard line. A big hit there, so the Robinson fans are celebrating, but that's still a nice gain on first down.
Yeah, Thomas is a good runner. Obviously, we've seen that. He is also a good passer. He can run the offense. He's been running it since he was in the 7th grade. Big run that time on first down. You stay ahead of the change, 2nd down and 5.
From the 32-yard line of Robinson, Arkadelphia sets up offensively again. Buster Thomas at quarterback. He'll take the snap. He'll hand it off to Harrison. He's hitting the backfield. Will gain 1 this time. 3rd down and 4 coming.
Yeah, here's a big play for Arkadelphia. You figure you might be in 4-down territory with the 3rd down, and they're going to say 4. So 3rd and 4, you figure you might be in 4-down territory. Like to see you be able to convert on this one, not have to worry about that 4th down decision.
Thomas can throw the ball. Now, he's run the ball so far, handed off the ball so far as well, but he can pass the ball. There's nobody in the backfield with him right now. Robinson jumped, but no flag. Everybody back out of the neutral zone, and they'll continue the play. Long snap count. He does want to throw. He's under pressure. He escapes that pressure. He will fire it downfield, but incomplete. He couldn't get it to Rogers, who was open at the 25, because he was being hit way back at the 44 when he let go of the ball.
Yeah, Ricky Rogers was there. Just Buster was running for his life and couldn't quite get anything going. So now comes the 4th down decision, 4th and 4. You're not going to punt because if you kick it in the end zone, you're only going to give up 11 yards. So you expect Arkadelphia to try to get that 4 yards here and keep the drive going. Kyron Harrison's going to line up outside 4 wide receivers. Now Kyron Harrison comes back to the middle of the field. So
Arkadelphia looks to the sideline for the play. Very important play coming. I think they want to talk about it, so they'll call timeout. 3:21 left, 2nd quarter. Robinson 21, Arkadelphia 14, and we will come back in 30 seconds.
Citizens Bank was established by a group of local business leaders who shared a vision of creating a bank that would be committed to serving working people. Over the years, we have expanded our services, locations, and technology, but we make every effort to stay true to our roots. Citizens Bank is owned by local shareholders and governed by a local board of directors, most of whom live, work, and invest alongside our customers. We continue to take pride in a heritage of independence that honors the vision of our founders, and we remain dedicated to the financial progress of the people we serve.
.321 left. We're in the 2nd quarter. Robinson 21 with 2 of those 3 touchdowns scored by its defense. Arkadelphia 14, 1 of those 2 touchdowns scored by its defense. But now on 4th down and 4, Arkadelphia has an opportunity. Big play. Ball at the 31-yard line of Robinson. Thomas at quarterback will roll to his right. Looking downfield, he'll fire the ball, and he throws it incomplete. Actually hit the back of one of his receivers, who was tangled up with a defender, but I think a proper call, no interference on the play. And so it's going to be turned over to the Robinson offense at the 31-yard line.
Yeah, I believe Ja'Shawn Davis was expecting him to be run blocking. If he had turned around, he would have known, but I believe Buster was he was having to get rid of the ball again.
Hit him in the numbers, but on the back of his jersey. So 1st down for Robinson. Center start at their 32-yard line, and they're going to run the ball. Right up the middle it goes. There's a gain up to the 36-yard line. They'll take some time off the clock. Robinson would love to score, Chris. They also want to use the rest of the clock in the first half.
Yeah, 3 minutes. Big possession here for the Arkadelphia defense. The Badgers will get the ball coming out of the halftime break. So if they can get a stop here, keep Robinson off of the scoreboard going into halftime, regroup, come back out to have the ball first starting the 3rd quarter.
2 receivers to the left side, wide side of the field, 2 to the right. They run this formation more often than any other. 1 running back in. They're going to throw it, though. It goes out into the flat. Arkadelphia will defend it, but it's still going to be a first down. Arkadelphia fighting for the football right now. Finally, they blow the whistle. My goodness.
Yeah, you see all 11 Badgers right there on the ball within 5 yards. That's the principal defense that Coach Eldridge and Kaiser preach. Good tackle that time by Keelan Nelson, an open field tackle. It was a first down, but it kept the Senators from getting closer to midfield.
44-yard line, first down and 10 for the Senators on their own end of the field. Arkadelphia's offense has made it into Robinson territory repeatedly tonight, but the offense has scored only one touchdown. 2:08 left, clock running. Robinson in no hurry. They want to use the rest of this clock and try to put more points on the board. Buddy Gaston at quarterback has had mixed success tonight, but he wants to throw deep here. He'll fire it down the sideline. It's complete to the 30-yard line. Big speed to the 20. They'll knock him down at the 17-yard line, and a flag goes down at the end of the play.
Now we've got 2 flags. I think we're going to possibly have a face mask on Arkadelphia, but then the Robinson player took his helmet off and threw it down in disgust. So we may have a half the distance penalty on Arkadelphia, which might take the ball to the 9, and then a 15-yard penalty against Robinson. So this ball will, my guess is it will end up being 1st and 10 for Robinson at their own 24-yard line.
Or at the Arkadelphia 24.
Excuse me, Arkadelphia 24.
I think you're probably right. Let's see if the officials agree. Now, we figured that out pretty quickly, but they're going to have a meeting about it.
Well, it's because I can make a guess, and it can be wrong all day.
Well, let's see. It's going to be a long discussion. The officials, as we've said, done a good job tonight. This is a spirited group of players on both sides. A lot of fans here. Kind of a high-pressure game for them, but they're doing a fine job. And I think probably both flags are warranted. So let's see. It is going to be 2 fouls, 2 separate fouls with separate flags. It is a face mask against Arkadelphia. And after the play, it is unsportsmanlike conduct. Boy, Chris Babb just nailed it. They have nailed off the half of the distance to the goal, and now they're going to mark off the penalty against Robinson, and it lands. Well, you might need to go into gambling as a profession because you just guessed exactly right. The ball's at the 24-yard line.
Did you really just say that?
I did, but I didn't mean it.
Okay.
You shouldn't do that. Do not do that, Chris Babb.
Don't
Ball
worry.
at the 24-yard line, first down and 10.
I like my job. I don't think my boss would like that.
Yeah, well, there you go. Ball at the 24-yard line, first down and 10. Buddy Gaston at quarterback will hand off again. To the right side it goes. Boy, that big line is working on Arkadelphia, but he'll gain only up to the 20-yard line, and the clock will continue to run at 1:33, 1:32.
Stopped for a second there, it looked like. Kyron Harrison in on the tackle again for Arkadelphia.
It looked like it went from 135 to 133 with a hesitation of a second. Interesting clock.
Yeah, we had some glitches in our clock last Friday as well. The play clock would be at 17, then go to 6, and back to 14. It was these wireless technology.
Here's a pass into the flat. Ooh, it's complete down to the 11. He'll break a tackle. He'll dive for the end zone, but he stepped out. You're right. He stepped out, Chris, at the 5-yard line, and so it will be first down and goal from there.
Now we're exactly at 1 minute to go here in the second quarter. First and goal from the 6. The Arkadelphia defense needs to have a big stand on this defensive play to have some momentum going into the halftime break.
They're going to mark it at the 6, so it is first and goal there. This would be the first lead for either team of more than one touchdown, more than one score. They're going to line up with a fullback and a tailback, and under center for the first time is Gaston. He'll hand off to the tailback, who's hit by Sammy Hawthorne in the backfield. He'll make it back to the line of scrimmage, I think, with a good spot, but that's it. So it's second down, goal from the 6-yard line. Clock continues to run. We're at 47 seconds.
Yeah, they're not going to call the timeout yet. You expect possibly that if they end up not getting in the end zone on this play, they might, but they still hadn't started the play clock. Robinson's not really in a hurry. Now they're in a play clock glitch, just like we had it. Went from 25 down to 20. But interesting clock management there. Arkadelphia comes up with a stop.
He's under center again. Will throw it to the end zone and misses receiver incomplete. Very interesting that after an entire game of being in the shotgun, they go to the quarterback under center.
They tried to take advantage of a one-on-one situation on the right side with the receiver in the corner. The receiver went inside. Gaston expected him to go to the outside, the back corner, and that's what Coach Escola is talking to his receiver now. He ran the wrong route.
Robinson has called timeout. 21 seconds left before halftime. It is Robinson 21, Arkadelphia 14. We'll be back in 30 seconds.
Price & Company Insurance and Bonds in Arkadelphia is a 100% fully independent agency, meaning that you'll be working with insurance agents who have an in-depth knowledge of multiple insurance products, companies, and guidelines, not just one. Contact Price & Company Insurance and Bonds today for your needs at 1015 Caddo Street in Arkadelphia or by calling 870-246-5573. Price & Company Insurance and Bonds says, "Go Badgers!"
Robinson led 7-0. Arkadelphia tied it up at 7. Arkadelphia led 14-7. Robinson tied it up at 14, and then an interception return, the second one of the game, for a touchdown. And Robinson has a 21-14 lead and now a chance to take a 2-touchdown lead. They'll line up back in their regular spread formation, one-back offense. In the shotgun is Buddy Gaston. He will throw the ball, but a flag goes down to stop the play. It was caught in the end zone, but there was a false start before an opportunity to score the touchdown. So that's going to back them up by 5.
I just jumped right in front of you and busted out the false start call. I'm rusty.
You're excited, and I am too. This is a big game.
Arkadelphia needed that one. They had single coverage on the left side. That's where they were going. Trey Bledsoe lining up against the Robinson receiver on single coverage on that far sideline, and he made a fingertip catch on that play. So now it's 3rd and goal from the 11. It's the exact same situation Robinson had the previous drive when Arkadelphia had the second interception from Cannon Turner, and he's not in the game right now after coming out after the kickoff return.
Gaston at quarterback. Now they're going to call timeout again and talk about it, and I think that's Robinson's last timeout.
That may be. That's their final timeout. So with 20 seconds left, if you don't get it, you would assume if you're the defense that they're going to pass the ball, because if you run the ball or anything like that happens, you get a sack. You don't have the time to stop the clock to set up a field goal. I would like to say that we are trying to figure out how we can brighten up the camera. The lights here are not the brightest, so we're going to try to brighten up what we can, but we understand the picture on our monitor is even dark, a little bit dark, so we know that it's probably a little bit darker for those of you who are watching at home. We're going to see if we can't try to figure that out. Not a whole lot, I'm afraid we might be able to do, but we'll try to work on that at halftime.
Chris, the turf itself is a little darker than most artificial turfs, especially in the middle of the field. It seems like the lights are not spreading well enough to really illuminate it terribly well. Hopefully you're getting a good picture right now, though, right in front of the lights where it's a little bit brighter, because this is a key point in the game. It's not halftime yet, 21 seconds left before half. Robinson leading by 7. And the Senators will try to score on this play from the 11-yard line of Arkadelphia.
Yeah, on the right hash, they had the single coverage on the far side and threw a deep out route on the first, and now they're going to line up in a bunch formation and try to confuse the Arkadelphia defensive secondary.
One wide receiver. Now they'll send a man in motion. So they got a wide receiver on each side. They'll roll to the left and try to throw to the end zone. He's under pressure. He's going to be, he escapes, and now he throws it out of bounds. Almost intercepted, but thrown out of bounds. And he did that to stop the clock. 12 seconds left.
Now they're going to talk. Is that intentional grounding? The side judge is going to come up and talk to the head referee. Are they going to throw a flag on? They are. They're going to throw the flag. That's a huge call. If we get the camera to pan left, it is intentional grounding. Sorry, our camera doesn't have the headset on. I can't hear. So
it is a loss of down.
It is a loss of down, a 5-yard penalty. Tremendous. That's what we talked about before that. Robinson could not afford a sack. Now, with that, he did allow them to set up for a field goal if they feel comfortable enough to try this long of a field goal. I believe the line of scrimmage now is going to be the 21, so it'd be a 38-yard field goal attempt. I think they think their best shot is to try to.
Yeah, there's some confusion, and they've got no timeouts. They've got 18 seconds left.
They brought the kicker off the field, and they're going to go for it on 4th and goal from the 21.
12 seconds left on the play clock.
Yep.
They're going to line it up now. Buddy Gaston. Now timeout's been called by Arkadelphia, so the Badgers want to talk about it.
Yeah, and I think they would have been able to get that play off, so not a bad timeout there by Arkadelphia. I don't think Robinson was in so much disarray that it was going to cause another 5-yard penalty. Arkadelphia knows that they need this stop to go into the halftime just down by 1 touchdown.
Even though it was a penalty, it kept the clock from running out. So it was a good decision by Gaston to intentionally ground because it does stop the clock.
It was almost intercepted. Arkadelphia had a chance. It landed just out of bounds. I believe that was Sammy Hawthorne that was over there, or Keelan Nelson. Possibly that could have picked that ball off. It just a little bit too far out of bounds for Keelan to grab. But big play here, 4th and goal from the 21. Big play in the game. You know, you're only one play before halftime, but going in down 7 is a lot better than going in down 14.
They could try a 38-yard field goal. They will not do that. They're going to go for a touchdown on this play. 12 seconds left. It's 4th and goal. They cannot make a first down. Ball back at the 21-yard line of Arkadelphia.
Kyron Harrison is at deep free safety, standing at the 6.
They're going to pitch it, and he's going to throw a halfback pass. He'll fire it to the end zone, a wobbly pass, and it is batted down incomplete. And that was Harrison who got up high to knock it down.
Yep, big play there by the Badger defense. And as soon as you saw that pitch, I had some bad memories of 2 years ago, but the Arkadelphia defense wasn't going to fall for that one. Kyron Harrison, I believe that might be the first time he's lined up at that free safety position. He was playing center field basically because they knew the ball had to go to the end zone. Nice adjustment by the Badger defense there to make a play. Kyron Harrison goes up. The ball was thrown into triple coverage, just kind of a hope and a prayer. And it went in the favor of Arkadelphia. Got to believe they're probably just going the victory formation down this when they get to halftime to regroup.
That is the formation. Not unexpected. Cannon Turner injured a few moments ago. We'll have to see if he can come back in the second half. Arkadelphia will go into halftime trailing by 7, but the Badgers will get the ball first in the second half. That's it. It's halftime. Robinson 21, Arkadelphia 14. We'll be back with a halftime show in 2 minutes.
Price & Company Insurance and Bonds in Arkadelphia is a 100% fully independent agency, meaning that you'll be working with insurance agents who have an in-depth knowledge of multiple insurance products, companies, and guidelines, not just one. Contact Price & Company Insurance and Bonds today for your needs at 1015 Caddo Street in Arkadelphia or by calling 870-246-5573. Price & Company Insurance and Bonds says, "Go Badgers!"
Under perfect conditions, your car traveling at 65 miles per hour can stop in about 300 feet. That's the length of a football field.
But a fully loaded tractor trailer, one that weighs 80,000 pounds, will take 2 football fields to stop. And that's if the driver is rested, paying attention, and the truck and load is properly maintained.
If you're in an accident with a big truck, call 1-800-CAR-WRECK.
Get the experienced team that's going to be on your side, by your side.
As a family-owned sporting goods supplier since 1950, Southwest Sporting Goods understands the value of customer service and is committed to providing the best quality customer service and merchandise available. Southwest Sporting Goods is located in Arkadelphia, but also has salesmen that cover the entire state of Arkansas to help ensure that their customers will receive the best customer service and pricing that can be found. Southwest Sporting Goods, located in downtown Arkadelphia, supporting the Badgers since 1950.
What if a bank didn't just make home loans, but taught responsible home ownership? What if a bank didn't just make business loans, but actually trained successful entrepreneurs? And what if a bank didn't just help you use credit, but helped you build and repair it? That would be a different kind of bank. Southern Bancorp, a bank on a mission to be wealth builders for everyone. Learn how you can bank differently at banksouthern.com/whatif.
It is halftime here at Charlie George Stadium on the campus of Robinson High School in Little Rock, and it is Robinson 21, Arkadelphia 14, in a very unusual game. 3 of those touchdowns scored by the defense on interception returns, 2 for Robinson and 1 for Arkadelphia. Cannon Turner, the all-state quarterback for Arkadelphia, was injured in the second quarter, and we do not know if he'll return to the game. That will, of course, be a key, but Arkadelphia will receive the kickoff to begin the third quarter, and the Badgers will have the ball first, a chance to tie it up when we begin third quarter action in a few minutes. Now, the Robinson Band's going to go first. We are going to bring you the Arkadelphia High School Band performance here in just a few moments. This is Jeff Root along with me. is Chris Babb and also Jim Rothwell. Jim will give us a stat report here in just a few moments. First, let me tell you that we are pleased to be on, and I want to identify our radio station, KSWH 102.5, The Pulse, in Arkadelphia. Glad to be back on the radio airwaves in Arkadelphia. A real blessing to have that return to us, as well as the video live stream that many of you are watching right now. It has been an unusual game, Chris Babb. Arkadelphia, though, is right in it, especially if they can get the offense moving with either Cannon Turner back at quarterback or a very talented Buster Thomas at quarterback in the third quarter.
Yeah, no doubt right now the coaches are getting the assessment from the athletic trainer, figuring out what's going to be the case. You're going to have a plan for Cannon, a plan for Buster. Obviously, Buster is capable of running the quarterback position. We've seen that, but he hasn't run it in a while except in practice. And so what do they feel most comfortable with package-wise? What that also does is it takes a threat away. It takes Buster Thomas behind the ball, behind center, where he's going to have the ball every play, but it does take his ability on the outside out, and Arkadelphia is going to have to figure out how to fill that hole. So the adjustments that they're going to make offensively, Arkadelphia will get the ball to begin the third quarter, so we'll get to see right off the bat what Coach Moreland, Coach Eldridge have planned. It is, you mentioned, it's a weird game. 3 defensive touchdowns out of the 6. Out of the 5 touchdowns, 3 of those have been defensively. All 3 of those interceptions returned for touchdowns.
The Robinson offense scored on its very first possession. Since then, the defense has shut them down and scored a touchdown against that offense. But the Arkadelphia offense has given up 2 defensive touchdowns, and so Robinson does have the lead here at halftime. Let's go to Jim Rothwell for a statistical report here at halftime.
Well, y'all have done a good job of sort of summarizing what happened. Quarterback Gaston for Robinson was 6 out of 12, 115 yards. A lot of that came on the very first drive and a little bit here on the end. He did have the 1 TD and a couple of interceptions. Varied receivers. They've got some big play receivers there, but several made catches. Defensively, Arkadelphia has done a great job. Hunter, the running back, has been averaging, I think, 100 yards a game or close to that. Has rushed 15 times for just 72 yards, and 27 of that came on one run. So 18 carries for Robinson, only 86 yards, a little over 5 yards of rush. Again, defensively, Arkadelphia has done a great job controlling the rush. After that first drive, they've really done a pretty good job with the pass defense as well. Again, a few things on that last drive. With Robinson trying to get down the field and put some points up. So good job defensively for the Badgers. Again, the interception for TD. If we look at Arkadelphia, it is a lot of the same things. Cannon Turner was 4 out of 6 for 115 yards. Again, most of that came on the one big play at the start of the game when Buster Thomas had his catch for 69 yards. Kai Harrison has 2 receptions for 14. And then Ricky Rogers had 1 for 15 that left him a little short of a first down. Rushing, we haven't seen the big nights yet. Turner is 4 carries for 32 yards. Harrison has been held to just 23 yards. Usually by now he's getting close to 60 or 70. That's on just 6 carries, though. The game has been a different type of game. It's been slow. Both teams are sort of stretching the play clock out to the end. And so Arkadelphia ended up with 14 carries for just 61 yards, almost 4.5 yards a carry. Again, interceptions have played a big part. Penalties, Arkadelphia has 1 penalty. Robinson has, I think, 6 for about 40 yards. Again, one big one was the grounding call over here at the end of the half, because that pushed them back far enough where they really had to make a decision about a field goal or going for it, and that was going to be a difficult choice to make to try to score from there.
Obviously, Jim, it's anybody's game. Even if Cannon Turner is going to be out for a little while and unable to come back in the second half, Arkadelphia has plenty of talent offensively to score the touchdowns needed to win the game. The one thing you notice in watching these two teams is that there's a tremendous amount of physical talent on the field and some awfully good coaching on both sidelines.
There really is. The speed on both teams, that's why you have those interceptions for touchdowns.
Right.
You think you've got a guy open in the flat, and that defensive back is closing quickly and cuts in front, and he's gone. Arkadelphia will miss Cannon Turner defensively. He plays that center field. I mean,
2 interceptions.
2 interceptions,
right.
And he can play that center field. He can also come up and stop the run. If you look at his future, that may be where it is playing defensive back at the college level. He's got the size, he's got the speed, he's got the football smarts to play defensive back at the next level, even possibly at a D1 or certainly lower level D1. Again, defensively, Arkadelphia's got to make sure they don't give up any more big plays. That's hard with the speed that Robinson has and Gaston's arm. They've done a good job of pressuring Gaston after the first drive. He just stood back there and waited till somebody came open. After that, Arkadelphia was putting some pressure on him, sort of like they did in the championship game. Finally, they were able to keep after him and put the pressure on him and begin to hurry his throws, and that's why we had some of the overthrows and misconnections there, and the interception as well, is because of the pressure that Arkadelphia was getting there. Offensively, Arkadelphia's got to come out on this first drive. You'd love a score, but they've got to show that they can move the ball. If Cannon Turner's out in particular, they've got to show that they can do something offensively, even if he's out, and that will be a key to starting this third quarter.
Jim, thank you so much for the statistical update. I want to talk with both you and Chris about something now as we wait for the Arkadelphia High School Band to make its appearance on the field, and that's the championship team from 1979. We've had some of those guys contact us and say they are watching the Badgers every week. Kerry Garnett, we've talked about, of course. He's been our guest on the halftime show for both of the last 2 championship games. I heard this week from Carsno Mitchell, also from Daniel Hunter, one of those famous Arkadelphia Badgers, Henderson State ready as well. Carsno played at Southern Mississippi for his college days. Also heard from James Sanders. So I greatly appreciate those guys and their desire to come back and celebrate the 40-year anniversary of their state championship in 1979, the first state championship in the first year of John Outlaw's era at Arkadelphia High. They're going to be back on campus at the game next Saturday for homecoming. Jim, it's going to be a lot of fun to see those guys.
It is. I messaged Kerry Garnett this week on something else and said, see you for homecoming. He said, I'll be there. I wouldn't miss it. So he is excited about coming back. And he's been a big push, I think, behind this of getting a lot of the players to come back.
And, Chris, it's been a lot of fun to hear from folks across the country who watch these live streams. It's a very gratifying thing to be able to bring alumni of Arkadelphia High School these games, and that wasn't possible, obviously, before the live stream, but now we've got that opportunity for them to tune in, watch it live, watch it after a Friday night if they're tied up on a Friday night. We've heard from several of them from as far away as Cary in San Diego, other folks. I heard from somebody in Montana this week, so a lot of Arkadelphia High graduates tune in to the games every Friday.
They do, and we're glad to be able to bring them, and as we say a lot of times, it always depends on your cell signal, and I believe we've kind of hit and miss. I think we've been on the whole time tonight, but I do believe we have run into a few issues as far as streaming, so we're trying to figure out what our connection speed is and all that and try to fix that, but we'll try to work on that while you listen to the Arkadelphia Badger Pride Marching Band.
It is on the field now and just about ready to start, so we'll go with audio as well as video and show you that award-winning band, state champion band, the Arkadelphia High School Marching Band.
Congratulations to all our athletes of the week. Ladies and gentlemen, Arkadelphia Public Schools is proud to present for your halftime entertainment your 2016, 2017, and 2018 state marching champions, the Arkadelphia High School Badger Pride Marching Band. The Arkadelphia Badger Pride Marching Band will be presenting their 2019 competition show, sponsored this year by Southern Bancorp of Arkadelphia, entitled Out of Reach, The Fall of Tantalus. Now, ladies and gentlemen, under the field direction of Colson McKinney, the Arkadelphia High School Badger Pride Marching Band.
Well, I'd say that didn't go as planned. It wasn't always like this. I was once a king, a child of the gods. I was the favored one. My flight to paradise was amazing, but the fall will be horrific. I just love my new philosophy. Greed is good. Greed is right. Greed works. Greed clarifies, cuts through, and captures the essence of a favored man. The truth is, greed has marked the upward surge of civilization since the beginning of time. Simply put, it's never enough. I want it all.
I'm trying to hold my breath, let it stay this way. Can't let this moment end. You set off a dream of me, letting it loud enough. Can you hear it echoing? All the signs that
How about a big hand for the Arkadelphia High School Marching Band. Very impressive. A few scores from around our conference and down the street. Pulaski Academy and Little Rock Christian are tied 26 at the half. At halftime, Ashdown 6, Boxside 0. At halftime, Malvern 14, Haskell Harmony Grove 8, and also at halftime, Nashville 42, Fountain Lake 0.
That was the Arkadelphia Badger Pride Marching Band with a great performance here in Little Rock, well received by the home crowd on the Joe T. Robinson sideline, or Joe T. Robinson crowd in their stands. At halftime, Robinson leads the football game 21-14. This is the Southern Bancorp halftime show, and we'll be back after this 60-second timeout.
At Eccles, Thompson, and Kneebone CPA, we seek to provide accounting, tax, and financial planning services to individuals and small businesses with proficiency and integrity. Serving Arkadelphia since 1977, our staff looks forward to meeting your financial goals of today and also becoming your financial advocate for life. Visit us at 205 North 25th Street or call 246-8991 today. Eccles, Thompson, and Kneebone LTD says Go Badgers.
Everyone's known for something. Ours is simple. At the Southwest Auto Collection and iDriveSWA.com, you get the absolute lowest price on America's best brands: Ford, Lincoln, Chevy, GMC, Buick, and Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram. The best selection and the lowest prices guaranteed. And we deliver anywhere in the state, plus tires for life. It really is that simple. Visit us today, the Southwest Auto Collection, I-30 exit 78 in Arkadelphia, or online at iDriveSWA.com.
Just about time for second half action here in Little Rock. At halftime, Pulaski Robinson 21, Arkadelphia 14. We just saw a tremendous halftime show from the Arkadelphia High School Marching Band. Very well received, as Chris said, by not only the Arkadelphia fans on the visiting side, but a huge ovation here on the home side by the Robinson fans. It's a great night for football. Down the street is a big football game. Jim Rothwell has a few scores for us.
Score down the street is 26-26, PA and Christian there at halftime. Malvern and Haskell Harmony Grove, it's 14-8 Malvern. Halftime, National leads Fountain Lake 42-0 at halftime, and Ashdown leads Boxside 6-0 at half.
Jim, we will give you a little bit of news that's not so good for Arkadelphia, but not something that's going to kill their chances for a win in the second half. We now see Cannon Turner is not in uniform for the second half, has his left arm in a sling. We don't believe that he's hurt too badly. He's on the sideline, but we're not going to see him in second half action. Instead, we're seeing Braden Buster Thomas warming up his passing arm on the sideline, and his teammates are surrounding him now saying, We believe in you, Buster.
Yeah, saw Cannon Turner with offensive coordinator Casey Moreland there getting a plan. Cannon will be involved in this game. Buster Thomas will be running the show offensively. See what the Arkadelphia offense has come up with at halftime. We talked about those. A lot of times you talk about halftime adjustments. So this is a significant adjustment that Arkadelphia has had to make at halftime, and they're going to get a chance to see what they've got going here as we start the third quarter. Probably you've got a senior offensive line. You've got a lot of seniors on this team. You would fully expected them to rally around each other and just kind of a little bit more locked in when you have that kind of a sudden change in personnel like that. So we'll see what Arkadelphia has. Arkadelphia will get to return the kickoff here to get things going in the third quarter, trailing by 7.
My phone is telling me that there's a light rain in Little Rock, but we have no rain here at the stadium. I know this because we're on top of the press box. We would know it if it was raining. It's not raining here at Robinson High School. It's a dry turf. Everything is in great shape. I say that simply because back in Arkadelphia, it rained hard all day long.
It did.
A lot of water in Arkadelphia today.
I'm looking up in the sky for stars, and I don't see any, though, Jeff, so I hope you didn't just jinx us.
No, not at all. Not at all. Well, speaking of opportunity, now Arkadelphia has one. They take this first possession, Chris, and score a touchdown to tie this game. It'll put everything in a different perspective. Right now they're down by 7 and they've lost their quarterback. They need a good possession right here to begin the third quarter. So the huge crowd is settling back into its seats. And here's the kickoff. It's high, it's short. It is going to be fielded and returned to the 28-yard line, 30-yard line, dancing to the 30, 31-yard line, and that's it. Short return by Pfeiffer, but Arkadelphia has decent field position across its own 30-yard line.
Starting at the 31, Arkadelphia 69 yards to go. The starting field position tonight has mostly been right around that 30-yard line, whether it's through pooch kicks, sky kicks, or kicks out of bounds. Arkadelphia has had about a 70-yard field the entire night.
Buster Thomas will be the quarterback here in the second half, as Cannon Turner was injured in the first half. We don't know the extent of it. We're not going to guess, but he will not play here in the second half. He's not dressed out in the second half. It's going to be Braden Buster Thomas at quarterback. He can throw the ball, no doubt about it, but he is a gifted runner, very, very fast. Won't be able to throw to himself at receiver, though, and that is a loss for Arkadelphia. They'll pitch it outside. Now dancing inside is Harrison, fighting off tacklers. He'll make it to the 35. Good job by Harrison to avoid a loss on the play. He picked up 3.
3-yard gain on first down. The Badgers going with Kyron Harrison in the backfield. And you still got the same senior, the veteran leadership on the offensive line. Ricky Rogers, a senior there, the dog position, almost a tight end, a blocking back. 3 wide receivers in the set.
Nearest to us is Logan Becker at receiver, tall receiver. They're going to run the ball, though. Here is Harrison. Harrison up to the 40-yard line. That's a good run. He's very close to a first down.
Well, Buster kept it on that one, and we were wondering what Arkadelphia would do. They're going to probably have to measure this one very. They're going to call a first down for Arkadelphia. We talked a lot about at the halftime or right before it started, the first half ended, who's Arkadelphia going to put in that position that Buster has run in the slot and come in jet sweep action? That's Kyler Pfeiffer. He's the one who has assumed the position of Buster Thomas.
Rogers, the All-State defensive end, is in right now as a slot back. Harrison is the running back. He's an All-State linebacker as well. He's going to line up behind his quarterback, Thomas. Thomas will hand it to Harrison. To the right side he goes. He's in traffic, but he can make yardage in traffic, and he might have 1. I mean, they really ran to the football on the Robinson side this time.
Yeah, they're going to mark that as a rush for no gain to bring up second down 10.
Don't be alarmed here. We're changing batteries on the camera momentarily, and we'll have a picture back for you in just a moment. Been a little bit worried about our internet signal, and so we hope that you're going to pick this up well here for the third quarter. Arkadelphia trails by 7, 10:22 left. Here's a pass across the middle. They got it to Rogers. First down to the 40, to the 35-yard line.
Good hands by Ricky Rogers, the senior. He got some yards after contact, and he was hit as soon as his hands got on that pass. Great job of securing the ball after making the catch. Nice pass by Buster Thomas, his first big completion as the quarterback. Kind of get him back in that rhythm and see if Buster can't get back in the rhythm of playing quarterback.
They're going to spot him at the 36-yard line, but that's a big play. Nice gain, first down. Good reception by Rogers, who is an all-state defensive end. I mean, Arkadelphia playing more people both ways than ever before under Coach Eldridge is working right now. Run to the right side. Here's Buster Thomas. He's got good room, 8, 9, maybe 10 yards. I think he might have a first down.
Yeah, Jaden Quarles, nice job of blocking on the right side of that offensive line, opening up a hole for Buster. And once you get outside, the instincts kick in, and Buster gets to run like we know he can. Big first down there for Arkadelphia. We would mention, obviously, those of you who are watching, notice the camera is brighter. It may be a little bit shiny in a couple of spots there if the lights hit the turf, but we're going to try to keep it brighter like this rather than go back to what it was. We don't want to hurt anybody's eyes at the house.
First down and 10, running play. Here's Harrison. He'll make it to the sideline and gain 3, maybe 4 yards on the carry. Good run by Kai Harrison. Arkadelphia has been down in this territory before, Chris, so it's really important now not just to get close, but to go down and get a touchdown to tie this game up.
Yeah, it really would be a confidence booster. Now they're going to call an official timeout for injury. You know, a lot of times in basketball, you'll see a player try to draw a charge. It looked like the the defensive lineman for Robinson that time tried to draw a hold, and he did not get the holding penalty called. A gain of, they're going to call it 3, so second down 7 for Arkadelphia.
Corvin King, a safety, was injured on the play, and he has checked out. Arkadelphia will run the ball to the wide side of the field. Here's Thomas up to the 21. Flag goes down as he's knocked out at the 19, and now a second flag goes down.
Yeah, we are going to have a hold on this play that was thrown at the 21-yard line, so that'll be 10 yards from the spot. So Arkadelphia is going to be second and probably about 15.
And Marion Harris is just one awfully big guy at 6'6" and well over 300 pounds. If you can't read his number down there, just look for the big guy. He's going to be a Division I player, only a sophomore, and already dominating football games. But Arkadelphia has limited his success on defense and on offense, both sides of the line of scrimmage, and he's going to check out for a play or two, and Arkadelphia will line up on second and long.
They're supposed to start the game clock on that on the official, but they did not. The play clock is running, but the game clock never did start, so that's why ours hasn't. Second and 16 for Arkadelphia.
Down to 2, and they snap it. He'll run to his right. This is Buster Thomas looking for room. He's hit by a member of the secondary. He breaks 2 tackles. Good hard running by Thomas. He'll make it back to the 29, but it's third down and long.
Yeah, I believe he had Kyler Pfeiffer had gone in motion to the right side. Kyler might have been open because the linebackers and everybody came up, but Arkadelphia's offensive line was run blocking. There were a couple of linemen downfield finishing their blocks, and if Buster had tried to throw that one to Kyler, I believe we probably would have had an ineligible downfield. So nice decision that time by Buster, and he actually got a couple of yards after the hurdle.
Ball on the 29-yard line. Arkadelphia has to make it to the 16 for a first and 10. They want to pass. Pressure on the quarterback across the middle. He'll miss his receiver. Might have had a chance to hit him if he had had more time to set and throw the ball, but Robinson has some good pressure coming from the linebacker position, and they got there just as he was throwing it.
Yeah, just not a comfortable throw that time by Buster. Kyler Pfeiffer lined up in the left slot, slant across the middle of the field, had a step and got inside his defender, and he was there, but the pass was short, and it brings up 4th and 13.
Arkadelphia lines up. Pfeiffer, Rogers, Whitten, and Becker are the receivers. Harrison in the backfield with Thomas. They'll bring Pfeiffer in motion. They'll fake it to him. They want to throw the ball. Now they get it out to Pfeiffer. Nice screen pass up to the 25-20. Out of bounds just before he can get to the 15. I'm not sure the spot's going to be quite good enough. They'll mark him out closer to the 18. So it'll turn over to Robinson. But a well-designed play almost got the first down.
Yeah, almost. Just needed one more step, did Pfeiffer. Nice job of making the catch and trying to get to the outside to get that first down. But he was indeed 1.5 yards, maybe 2 yards short. Be a turnover on downs. Ball will go to the Senators, who lead by 7.
My goodness, that was well designed but well defended at the last moment. Couldn't quite make it to the first down marker. So, first down and 10 Robinson. First possession of the second half for the Senators. They're going to start with a running play. They're going to go wide, looking for some space. He's going to have some, about a gain of 5, maybe 6, close to 7 yards on first down.
Yeah, Trey Bledsoe tried to get outside from that corner position, and the officials have not really they're letting them play. Arkadelphia did get called for one hold. I think Bledsoe was trying to get one there. Didn't quite. Second and short for the Senators.
Gain of 7, so second down and between 3 and 4, we'll say. Running play, and there's not much of anywhere to go. Arkadelphia will gain tackle, and he just got back to the line of scrimmage. Big third down play coming now.
Yeah, good job by the interior of that defensive line. Arkadelphia came up with the ball. Kyron Harrison trying to say we had it. But no gain on the play. Third down and 3. Big play here for the Arkadelphia defense.
A turnover would mean a lot, but holding on third down right here would force a punt, we believe. This far deep on the Robinson side with their 7-point lead, I think they'd punt the ball away if they don't make yardage here.
Malcolm Turner comes in on the right corner position, replacing Lucas Witherspoon.
Buddy Gaston at quarterback for Robinson. He's got a running back next to him. He's their short yardage guy. Good, strong running back. And they are going to fake it to him. Now they hand it. Now they drop the ball. Fight for the ball, and I think Arkadelphia has it.
Boy, big play by the Arkadelphia defense. Huge mistake by Buddy Gaston and the running back, and they're coming off. Buddy Gaston is not a happy young man right now. Miscommunication between the quarterback and the running back on the do you hand off or the keep. The ball ended up on the ground, so Arkadelphia has the ball now right at the 20-yard line inside the red zone. Some momentum for this offense. Capitalize on it big. Would be a big job right here to tie this game up. Got to get something going offensively.
Daryl Searcy is the running back who was expecting that handoff. At the last minute, it was pulled out by the quarterback, Gaston. They both lost control of it, and Arkadelphia recovered. First down and 10, ball at the 20-yard line. Arkadelphia will send Pfeiffer in motion and now run the ball with Harrison. He cuts it up the middle. He's going to have a short gain. Now he fights for more yardage. He's got about 7 on first down.
Boy, Jaden Quarles pulling around from that left side, the left tackle position, cleared a huge hole for Kyron Harrison. Kyron doesn't need much. He had enough to get some full steam going ahead. Credit Jaden Quarles and coming from the left side and the rest of that right side of the Arkadelphia line for giving Harrison an initial hole, and that's all he needed.
Make it 6 yards. Second down, 4 yards to go. Ball spotted now at the 14-yard line. 6:41 left, third quarter. Arkadelphia trying to drive down and tie this game. Thomas, quarterback keeper. He's up to the 11, to the 10, breaks the tackle to the 5, and he'll be stopped short of the goal line, but it's first and goal. They're going to mark it at the 2.
Staten Whitten with the outside block on the receiver side. Staten Whitten, the tight end, actually their wide receiver, he blocked his defender out of bounds, enabling Buster to get down to the 1-yard line. I guess it is right at the 1, first and goal.
Yeah, they marked it at the 1. First down and goal. At the line of scrimmage, they're going to hold it. Now hand it to Harrison. He's hit from behind. Didn't see that guy coming.
Yeah.
And he pulled him down at the 4-yard line. They're going to spot that all the way back to the 4. A loss of 3, and it's second and goal from the 4.
Defensive line held their blocks, allowed the linebackers to force Kai to stutter step, and that was just enough time for the backside to come, for the defender to come from Kai's backside to drop him.
Wow, an important 4 yards. Arkadelphia trying to tie this game without Cannon Turner, their quarterback, who was injured in the second quarter. 5:56 left, third quarter. Arkadelphia taking time off the clock, trying to tie the game. Here's Thomas. He's running to the near side. He's sprinting. He's got it. Touchdown, Arkadelphia.
Buster Thomas getting outside. Huge play by Arkadelphia there. Big boost of confidence for the Badgers to get in the end zone, now get the extra point. Cannon Turner was also the holder. The new holder is going to be Alex Loy. He's going to hold for Ethan Savage. Alex Loy is a sophomore. He was over on the sideline a while ago taking some warm-up snaps, so this will be his first hold in varsity action.
And here's the snap. It's good. The hold is good. The kick is up, and the kick is perfect. This game is tied. Arkadelphia 21, Robinson 21, 5:46 left. We're in the third quarter, and we'll be back in 30 seconds.
Locally owned and operated, Welch Funeral Home has been serving the Arkadelphia community since 2005. Our goal at Welch Funeral Home is to offer every family that will allow us to serve them the most caring, dignified, professional service at the most affordable price. With over 40 years of experience in the funeral home industry, owner Tim Welch and Welch Funeral Home have also been longtime supporters of the Arkadelphia Badgers and Lady Badgers. Contact Welch Funeral Home at 870-230-1400 or visit them at 202 South 4th Street near downtown Arkadelphia.
Arkadelphia 21, Robinson 21, 5:46 left. We are in the third quarter tonight. Arkadelphia has scored to tie the game behind a backup quarterback, Buster Thomas. Starting wide receiver, very talented player, now playing quarterback with the injury to Cannon Turner. We don't know the extent of that injury, but he will not play in the second half. We know that. Arkadelphia has tied it up and is set to kick off. Here's the kick from Savage. And it's a nice kick. It'll go down well inside the 10. They'll take it at the 5-yard line. Kick return from the 5 up to the 20. Hit at the 25 and down at the 27-yard line. First down and 10 for Robinson.
Staten Whitten, Ethan Savage there finishing up, but Staten Whitten and looks like Lucas Witherspoon in on the tackle for Arkadelphia. And boy, that's a plus. If you can allow the speedy return unit of Robinson only to start their field position at the 25-yard line, that's a plus. Arkadelphia defense needs to capitalize on some of those momentum the Badgers have at the beginning of the third quarter. Try to come up with another stop.
Hunter Smith is back at running back now for Robinson, and the quarterback, of course, is Buddy Gaston. The 6'4 quarterback will hand off, and they almost fumbled that handoff. It's a loss of 3 on the play.
Lorenzo Lawson and Terrell Sumler. Terrell, the TIA, he has his own insurance agency. He doesn't really, but Terrell, tremendous personality, good young man. He and Lorenzo Lawson also another. This team's full of good kids. All 4 of those guys on the defensive line: Ricky Rogers, Lorenzo Lawson, Terrell Sumler, and Jason Campbell. That time it was Lawson and Sumler getting in the backfield, disrupting the play.
Call it a loss of 4. Second down and 14. They lost 4 on a simple handoff in the backfield. Gaston, will he throw the ball? He will. To the flat. He'll get it out, and it's dropped. Dropped at the 28-yard line. Third down and long.
Credit Kalen Jones. It looks like Lucas Witherspoon and Sammy Hawthorne, and then Ethan Savage came over as well. But if he had caught that pass, if that pass is caught by the Robinson wide receiver, he only gets up to about the 27 or 28-yard line, which would have been third and about 8. So good defensive pursuit that time by the Badger line, the secondary.
Kyron Harrison is in, but not to play linebacker. He's at safety right now for Arkadelphia. Of course, they had begun the game with Turner at safety. Cannon Turner, he's out, so Harrison is in at that spot. There's a blitz, and Savage will bring him down inside the 10.
Boy, big play. Arkadelphia showed blitz on the inside, a little trying to confuse the defensive line, the offensive line for Robinson, and it did. And Savage was able to, because of that mixing and matching and the bluffs, Savage was able to come in and get a big sack, 4th and forever for the Senators. Kyron Harrison and Fife are going to set up inside Robinson territory to return the punt.
They'll say that he initially made contact at the 12, so they spot the ball at the 12-yard line. For the first time, they're going to punt from inside their own goal line. Here's the kick. Ooh, low line drive. It'll bounce right to Harrison, who takes it at the 41. He's looking for a wall. He finds some room to the 35, down the far sideline to the 26 and out of bounds.
Harrison is a baseball player. He fielded that one like a ground ball.
Man, it was a ground ball.
Arkadelphia is fortunate that punt, as low as it was, that ball probably didn't get 8 feet off the ground. Arkadelphia is fortunate that it didn't hit one of the defenders in the helmet or something like that.
Wind beginning to kick up, but no rain. Let me repeat that. No rain. It hasn't rained here, it doesn't look like, all day long, despite all the rain we got down in Arkadelphia just an hour away. And it might be sprinkling somewhere in Little Rock, but not here at Robinson. So the weather is good, the field is good, and Arkadelphia has a chance to take the lead late in the third quarter. Running play. This is going to be a pass instead. Nice fake, and they threw a pass to Pfeiffer, but missed him out in the left flat. Incomplete.
That was there, and that was dangerous as well. It was across the field to the wide side of the field, and if he misses that one just another couple of feet ahead of Pfeiffer, that could have been the 4th interception return for a touchdown on the night. 2 of those from Robinson in the first half, 1 from Arkadelphia. Buster Thomas there is his second full drive at quarterback after coming in for Cannon, who is not dressed out on the sideline in a sling on his shoulder. But Buster trying to get that passing game going, trying to open up the holes for Harrison too.
Robinson will sprint to those passes in the flat. Here's a running play, but Harrison's got nowhere to go this time. Too many Senators there, and it's 3rd down and 11.
Yep. Yeah, too much into pursuit that time by the defensive linemen of Robinson. They put too much pressure, and were able to get in that backfield right as Harrison took that handoff. He takes the handoff 5 yards deep in the backfield, and he was still able to get up a couple, still a loss of play on the play, 3rd and 11.
What wind there is favoring Arkadelphia, but this would be a very long field goal. So I think right here we might see a 3rd down and then perhaps a 4th down play. We'll see what they make on 3rd down. It is going to be a run by Thomas, and he's hitting the backfield now, struggling, and will not make it back to the line of scrimmage. He's knocked down at the 30-yard line. Now the decision is, do you fire the ball down the field and try to get a completion on 4th down, or kick it deep and try to play field position?
Arkadelphia lining up like it's going to go for 4th down. It's the same situation. You're not going to punt here because, and I think it is way too long. That's a 47-yard field goal attempt. Actually, a 47-yard field goal attempt if they were to go for it here. A punt, obviously, if it goes in the end zone, you're just giving up 10 yards. So big play here for the Badgers. 5 wide.
He is alone in the backfield. 3 receivers to the right, 2 to the left. Lots of pressure on the quarterback, but he escapes that pressure. Now he will run past the line of scrimmage and throw an incomplete pass. He was past the line of scrimmage when he threw the ball, so a flag goes down, but it won't matter because it was an incomplete pass, and that was 4th down.
Right, he was about 4 yards past the line of scrimmage when he threw that pass. See if it's declined or if you can accept that penalty and get a few more yards.
Quarterback was beyond the line of scrimmage when he threw the ball. First down, Robinson.
Yep.
Yeah, he didn't use the word decline, but I think that's what happened. Robinson's got the ball back. Still a tie game at 21, 2:35 left. We're in the 3rd quarter. And with an official's timeout, we'll take a 30-second break.
For over 75 years, Mary and Martha's Florist and Gifts on Main Street in Arkadelphia has served the people of Arkadelphia and her surrounding communities, providing a wide variety of floral and gift needs. Do you have a special occasion that calls for just the right touch of creativity? Join the many who call David Goodman at Mary and Martha's to create a floral arrangement to fit their needs and budget. Call Mary and Martha's at 870-246-2446 or visit their location at 921 Main Street in Arkadelphia. Mary and Martha's Florist is a proud supporter of the Arkadelphia Badgers. For over
3 seconds, 2 seconds. They're going to have to call timeout as there's a lot of confusion on the Robinson offense. They'll have to use a timeout. That could be important, Chris, that they used a timeout here in the 3rd quarter. 2 more timeouts remaining for Robinson. They just couldn't get everybody lined up.
No, they couldn't. We were in the middle of the commercial, and the officials sent the play. They got the the injured player off quickly, and I thought we were going to miss half of a play. But Robinson didn't. They weren't together. They didn't have their play lined up. Some of the coaches are talking to one of the players that was on the sideline, and he wasn't ready to go. So that is a wasted timeout coming over off of a change of possession like that.
Arkadelphia's played very well in the 3rd quarter. They have tied the game. They've created turnovers, but they had a golden opportunity there and didn't take advantage of it. So what Arkadelphia's defense will need to do now, Chris, is either create another turnover or try to force another punt, because the punting for Robinson leaves something to be desired.
Yeah, the Badger defense has done a tremendous job the previous the 2 possessions here in the second half. They made some adjustments also and have seemed to change something up with their coverages, with their formations, their looks, confusing Robinson. They really need to continue that momentum and give the Arkadelphia offense a short field.
Buddy Gaston at quarterback. This time he has 2 running backs, one to his left and one behind him. Pistol formation, an unusual formation for Robinson. And a flag goes down, or at least a whistle blows to stop the play.
Umpire threw that one, so that's got to be false start on Robinson.
My goodness. They're having trouble getting it together. That's surprising. This is an awfully good team, and they've got an opportunity now after a good stand by the defense. But it's 1st and 15, ball back at the Robinson 25-yard line. Still 2:34 left here in the 3rd quarter. The game is tied at 21. Robinson had a 7-point lead at halftime. It was almost a 2-touchdown lead at halftime, but the Arkadelphia defense made a nice stand just before the half and then got a touchdown here early in the 3rd quarter to tie it up. On 1st down and 15, a running play to the left side, and Arkadelphia stops it. They will not get back to the line of scrimmage. How many tackles for loss have there been tonight for these 2 defenses?
Yeah, a lot, and a lot for Arkadelphia, especially in this 3rd quarter. Another positive play for the the defensive front of Arkadelphia. Second down, and it looks like that's about 17, I believe, 17 or 18.
Yeah, I think they're going to say he's down at the 22, so that would be 2nd and 18 after a 3-yard loss on the run, 5-yard penalty before that.
Single coverage on the left side down here on the bottom of your screen if you're watching.
Don't be surprised if Mr. Gaston puts it in there. Now another flag is down. Same thing.
You did have Kalen Jones with some safety help coming over from that two-safety set for Arkadelphia. Another false start.
Wow. Well, unforced errors here by Robinson. Still just second down, but now they've got a long way to go, back at the 17-yard line.
And that plays into Arkadelphia's strengths in this third quarter because it's been the defensive line that has been able to get pressure. When you got to get 23 yards in 2 plays, you're going to have to give your quarterback more time, and that's not been one of the strengths of this Robinson offensive line in this third quarter.
Gaston threw the ball so well on the opening drive, got a touchdown pass on that drive, but he has an interception for a touchdown and has been hurried by the pass rush since the first quarter. 2nd and 23. They'll throw it into the flat. It is complete. Some Badgers on the sideline. He'll break a tackle and make good yardage. That's a good gain well across the 30.
We've got a flag on the
Yeah, a flag back at the 22-yard line. That might be a blocking penalty. We'll see.
Holding. He signaled holding to the head referee. He's asking Coach Eldridge, do you want to take the penalty? Yeah, I think we'll take that one.
That was a good run after the catch by Nunnally. Here's a touchdown tonight as well. Goodness gracious, they continue to go backwards. Another mistake by Robinson.
I think that's going to make it 2nd and 28 because it's 10 yards from the spot. So, in essence, they lost another 5 yards.
You're good at math, Chris. 28 yards is it. 2nd and 28, 1:21 left. We're having to subtract instead of add right now because Robinson's going backwards.
Let's go 11 more yards back, or 12.
And they have a running back they're going to hand it to. Right up the middle he'll go. That's a gain, but not much to the 16-yard line. 3rd down and long.
You almost would expect Coach Kaiser to bring the house on this one. They had the bluffs from the defensive lineman showing blitz, allowed Savage to get a big blitz on 3rd and long in the last possession. May not be Savage this time because he has a receiver. He's standing over a receiver there in the middle of the slot on the left side of the defense. But see what Arkadelphia tries to dial up. 4 wide receiver set.
Gaston is not the most mobile quarterback, but he's 6'4", and he's got a good arm. And he wants to pass. He'll throw it and overthrow his intended receiver at the 11 to the 10-yard line, and it rolls out of bounds. That was almost a backwards pass. I thought they might have been setting up a halfback pass. He threw it sideways, but it bounced out of bounds, and they will call it an incompletion. So 4th down, they spot the ball back at the 16.
I think on 3rd and long, they were trying to get a receiver out in space and try to make something happen, but I don't think Arkadelphia was going to allow that to happen. Now you have Kyler Pfeiffer coming back to return this punt. I don't see the punter on the field. Now they're going to put Buddy Gaston out there. The play clock's already down to 10 seconds.
And they may have to call another timeout or take another 5. Now that maybe they'll snap it. 3, and they do snap it. Here's the punt. Ooh, my, this is another low one. It'll bounce all the way down, though, to the 50-yard line, to the Arkadelphia 48, 49-yard line, we'll call it. I'll tell you what, it was effective, but it was not pretty.
One of these defensive linemen, or the lineman from Robinson, he's out of your picture now, but he's signaling over to the coaching staff that the ball, he's tapping his helmet. I thought that the spin of that ball, that it hit one of Arkadelphia's players in the back of the helmet. But nevertheless, they did not signal that, and Arkadelphia is going to have good field position once again.
If it had hit a Robinson player, it should be down at that spot, right? But instead, the ruling is it didn't hit anyone. It just rolled dead at the Arkadelphia 49-yard line. So on that exchange, Arkadelphia lost some yardage, but still they have great field position. The Badgers set up at their own 49. Running play, Thomas dodges a tackler. He'll make 3-4 yards up to the 47-yard line of Robinson.
Kyron Harrison ran the slot receiver that time, coming over as the jet sweep option there. Buster decided to keep it. 4-yard gain on 1st down. Again, obviously, a lot of you have been watching all night, and we've said it a few times, but it does bear repeating since we may have some who have just tuned in as we start the 4th quarter and wrap up the 3rd quarter. But Cannon Turner injured in the 2nd quarter. And that's why Buster Thomas is at quarterback right now.
So this does mark the end of the third quarter. Arkadelphia will walk to its sideline. Robinson will do the same, and we'll enter the fourth quarter of play when we come back with the score tied at 21, Robinson and Arkadelphia. We'll be back in 30 seconds.
Thanks for meeting me here.
No problem. You know, Farm Bureau Insurance has local agents making this kind of thing real easy.
Well, your auto insurance has saved me a lot on old Becky here.
Harold, your dog swallowed the remote again.
Who's that?
Older Becky.
Oh. Ugh.
Real service, real people. That's Farm Bureau Insurance.
Call Clark County Farm Bureau today at 870-246-4554.
We have just passed the hour of 9 o'clock, and you're in tune to KSWH 102.5 The Pulse in Arkadelphia. And, of course, our live video live stream. Glad to bring it to you. Arkadelphia trying to win this game in the fourth quarter. It's tied up right now. Arkadelphia 21 and Robinson 21. Buster Thomas at quarterback. He wants to throw. No, he's going to run. Here's a little bit of room. Now he'll dance to the outside and lose some yardage as a result. Had a good idea, but the pursuit by Robinson got to him. They're going to spot the ball at the 46-yard line of Robinson. It's third down.
Far side judge came in initially looking like he was going to spot it at the 45, which would have brought up 3rd and 4. Instead, they do mark it at the 46, 3rd and 5 for Arkadelphia. Looked like Buster might have been able to cut that one back up the middle. He decided to go outside, and a great open field tackle of Buster Thomas by the Robinson defender.
The Arkadelphia team looks to the sideline. They get the play. They need 5 yards right here for a first down. On third down at 5, they will fake it, run it up the middle. This is Thomas. He's going to have a first down and more. He's to the 35, bounces to the outside to the 25. Following his blocks, he's to the 18-yard line, first down.
Nice run by Buster Thomas. Nice read. That was some athletic ability, cutting back against the grain and getting outside. Logan Becker on the far side, the wide receiver on the left side of this formation, did a great job of getting in the way, not holding, and then blocking his defender out of bounds, giving Buster some more space.
Not just great speed, but really great lateral speed. He can bounce to the outside very, very quickly. He did on that play. From the 18-yard line of Robinson, first down for Arkadelphia. Pfeiffer in motion. Buster Thomas at quarterback will hand off this time. Here is Harrison. He's hit and brought down at the line of scrimmage, and they might even say a loss of 1. They're really keying on Harrison, it looks like.
Yeah, Kyron tried to bust that one out, and just the little stutter step. We've seen about the second or third time that if you have any stutter step at all, that allows the speedy defenders from the backside to come and make one play. And that's what Robinson has done a few times. Kyron Harrison still able to get a yard out of that. Actually, I'm sorry, I looked at the change wrong. 2nd and 11. My apologies.
Yeah, he lost 1, so it's 2nd and 11. Thomas with Harrison in the backfield. They're going to hand it to Harrison again. Left side this time. He tries to cut it up the middle. I think he got back to the original line of scrimmage, but suddenly now it is 3rd down and 10. A little bit of extra work at the end of that play, but no harm, no foul. It's 3rd and 10.
3rd and 10. Obviously, you're in. Are you in 4-down territory? Do you try to let Ethan Savage try the, which from right here would be a 35-yard field goal attempt. Big play, 3rd and 10 from the Robinson, just inside the 19.
The PA announcer wants people to yell a little bit louder. And that's not good because the press box is shaking. But I think we'll be okay. 3rd down and 10. In motion comes Pfeiffer. Thomas is back. Will he pass the ball? Now he wants to run. He is going to sprint to the near side. He's going to make yardage to the 15, to the 10. I think he's got a first down.
Staten Whitten with a block on the Robinson sideline. They were screaming for a hold. They did not get it. Staten Whitten kept his hands inside. First down for Arkadelphia. Is that where they're going to spot?
Yeah, they spotted at the 7. First down and goal.
First and goal. I was watching for the Robinson officials, the coaches really wanted a hold on the outside on Staten Whitten. Did not get it. Nice blocking, keeping your hands inside by Staten. First and goal, Arkadelphia.
That's the way you block. He did it the right way, and it's first down and goal. Ball at the 7-yard line. Pistol formation this time. They're going to throw it to the flat. It's caught, but it's well defended. Pfeiffer will break 2 tackles, though. He's inside the 5. He's all the way to the 3, maybe the 2. Oh, a good job by Pfeiffer.
Good job, good effort by KP there. Caught it in traffic. It was touched, it hit as soon as he caught the ball, but was able to get away from the traffic and make a positive yardage. 2nd down and goal from the 3 now. Great effort by Kyler Pfeiffer, the junior wide receiver.
Big-time play. Gives Arkadelphia a wonderful chance now. 2 plays to make about 2.5 yards. Here's a running play. This is Harrison. He's sprinting to the sideline. He is to the 1. He's in. Touchdown, Arkadelphia. And the Badgers have the lead with 8:32 left.
Sammy Hawk, there's a flag on the play.
Oh, my, on the far side.
Yeah.
False start against Arkadelphia. Take back the touchdown. Goodness gracious. I didn't see it. It was on the far sideline, away from the action, but apparently a false start before the play started.
Illegal formation against Arkadelphia.
There you go. Just lined up wrong. Okay, well, it makes it a little bit harder. They'll get the down over, but they'll move it back to the 8-yard line. 2nd and goal from the 8-yard line. I said 2 plays a moment ago. It's really 3. Of course, you go for it on 4th down, or you could kick a field goal, I guess, but this close.
Same formation.
Let's see if
for
they put it
Arkadelphia.
in. Pistol formation, 2 blockers on the right side. They're going to run it to the left side. Here's Thomas. He's got some room to the 5. Touchdown, Arkadelphia. Braden Thomas.
No flags down. That one's going to stay on the board. They ran the same formation, Jeff. They had Sammy Hawthorne, Ricky Rogers lined up as blocking backs on the right side outside the right tight end and tackle. You're going to see them line up on your screen if you're watching. Actually, you just saw them. This is back to live action. But they ran the play to the opposite side of the field. Same formation, different play. Touchdown Arkadelphia and a 6-point lead going for 7.
Very important extra point attempt. The kick is up. The kick is good. Very high, may have been partially blocked. It went very high and just came down before it went wide to the left, and it came down in between those goalposts. So it's good, in between the uprights, I should say. And Arkadelphia leads at 28-21, 8:26 left in the football game tonight. And Arkadelphia is playing some exciting football here without its star quarterback. Arkadelphia has come back with 2 touchdowns to take the lead. We'll be back in 30 seconds.
Call State Farm agent Austin Wingfield at 870-246-2162 today.
Arkadelphia is set to kick off after that touchdown drive to take the lead, 28-21. Arkadelphia has 2 touchdowns in the second half. Robinson has been shut out so far in the second half, and now the Badgers with the lead will kick off. My, what resiliency for Arkadelphia tonight. They lost their starting quarterback to injury. They've had some things go wrong, 2 interception returns for touchdowns, and yet at the same time they've come back now to take the lead in the 4th quarter. Kickoff return goes to the 20-yard line. They might give him the 21-yard line, and Robinson will send its very dangerous offense back out onto the field, trailing for the first time since the first half.
Great kickoff coverage again by the Badgers, kicking that to about the 10-yard line. Didn't over-pursue. The ones who did force him back inside for the teammates to make the tackle. 79 yards to go for Robinson. And this is an Arkadelphia defense that has really controlled the 3rd quarter. You got to keep that momentum and put on more steam.
I keep expecting Gaston to throw the ball downfield, which he did on the first drive that resulted in a touchdown for Robinson, but hasn't done as much since. Arkadelphia, though, has been really putting pressure on the quarterback. They want to run on first down. There's nowhere to go. Arkadelphia is right there with 3 defenders, a loss of 1 on the play.
Great job again by the Arkadelphia defense. A low snap. Gaston had to take his eyes off of the defenders, catch the ball. You see the far side. Joe T. Robinson has a wide receiver over there. I think that is number 23. No, I'm going to look at the wrong roster. I think that is Nakiah Davis. He's screaming for the ball on the right side. He's got single coverage. He's got a few inches on Trey Bledsoe.
2nd and 11. Robinson wants to throw the ball into the flat. They've got a receiver out there. He hits his receiver this time. He'll make some yardage after the catch. It's near a first down, but I think he's a little bit short. He's overthrown some receivers in the flat, but he hit his receiver that time.
Yeah, he decided to go on the short route, the underneath route. That helps Arkadelphia after Trey Bledsoe makes the tackle for a 3rd and 2 situation. He decided to go underneath instead of over the top.
Ball spotted at the 29-yard line. So it is 3rd down and 2. A full 2 yards needed by Robinson. They're lined up with 2 receivers to the short side of the field, 1 wide to the left side, the wide side. 1 running back in the formation and a blocking back. They're going to run. They're going to have a first down and more. Breaking into the secondary. Oh, this is dangerous. To the 50, to the 40. And the Badgers are struggling to catch him, and they do catch him at the 5-yard line.
Lucas Witherspoon with a touchdown-saving tackle. Although there's the first long run that Robinson has had in a long time in this game, maybe the longest they've had in the game, but the first positive yardage they've had in the second half.
What tremendous speed by Witherspoon to catch him. I thought at one point he was gone, but now they're going to have to earn the last 5 yards.
He ran out of gas on that play. Witherspoon caught up to him to make the tackle.
Good work by Witherspoon, who did not run out of gas. Now they got to earn these last 5 yards. 7:13 left, clock running. They'll run again. Up the middle it goes. There's some good trap blocking and a gain of a couple, maybe 3. 2nd down and goal. They have gone back to the run, and it's worked. Trying to tie the game against the old Badgers. Let's see if they can do it on 2nd down and goal from the 3-yard line. Hunter Smith takes the carry. He's hit at the 5. Flags go down, and they're going to tackle him at the 3, maybe the 2.5. But let's see what the flag is.
Big flag right here as the back judge is running up to the referee. It would be an odd penalty if it's against the defense.
And here is the call. We're waiting for it. Shot block against the offense. Big mistake by Robinson. They just made their chore harder.
Yep.
Boy, a couple of teams that have made mistakes tonight, Chris, but a lot of it is because they are so into the game. They're just doing some things that are not characteristics. Some turnovers tonight for both teams, penalties on both teams, but a lot of it is effort-based.
15-yard penalty. That's a big penalty. 2nd and goal from the 18, and now how big was that tackle by Lucas Witherspoon?
At the 18-yard line, it's 2nd down, and you're right, 2nd and goal. They got to cover 18 yards. They got to get to the end zone. He wants to pass. He's going to fire it, and there is a receiver. He fights for the ball. Incomplete. Well defended on the play.
Trey Bledsoe, come up with the big play, young man. Single coverage. That was the guy who was asking for it on the play earlier in the drive. Trey Bledsoe recovered nicely. That ball had a little bit too much air under it. Bledsoe did a great job of getting his hands up there through the hands of the receiver, knocking it loose. Now it's 3rd and goal from the 18.
That receiver is 6'2".
Trey is not 6'2".
Trey comes in at 5'6". And the receiver got both hands on the ball, Chris, but he knocked it away before he could tuck it in.
He's 5'6" with cleats on.
There you go. Great play. Great play by Bledsoe. And now another opportunity for Robinson, but they got to cover 18 yards after the incompletion. 3rd down and goal. And they want to pass again. He's going to look down the middle. He fires it. Oh, it's complete for a touchdown. Nice pass across the middle. Crossing pattern, and they got the touchdown. Well, that was a post from the left side. They scored a touchdown on a post from the right side in the first half. Kind of wondered why they've not gone across the middle more often, but it worked that time. Now this extra point is tremendously important. The kicking game has been a bit of a problem for Robinson tonight, so let's see what will happen.
Arkadelphia has blocked some extra points this season.
All right, this would tie the game if he makes it. No guarantee. Snap is good. The hold is good. The kick is blocked. It is no good. It is blocked, and Arkadelphia has a 1-point lead. The Badgers got in and blocked it. I couldn't tell exactly who it was, Chris, because there were several Badgers that broke through the line, but it might have been the defensive end, Jason Campbell.
Boy, that was some tremendous push from up the middle. And
Campbell 6'3", and he and a couple of other Badgers got high, and one of them knocked it straight up and never made the goal line.
Tremendous, tremendous job by the Arkadelphia kick block team. Special teams can win games. That's a huge play in this ball game. Now Arkadelphia needs to run some clock, put a good drive together, don't go down and score again. Boy, big play.
Wow, this is going to be a tremendously exciting final 6 minutes and 20 seconds. You know, Robinson is not done, but Arkadelphia has a chance to run its offense, perhaps score, at least run clock. Will Robinson try something tricky here on the kickoff? They've been kicking short all night. Would they try an onside kick? A lot of time left, but you never know. High school football, you never know. They're going to set up for the kickoff. Arkadelphia is going to set to be ready for anything right here.
Yeah, on each of the kickoffs Robinson has had tonight, you have a bunch of the front line of Arkadelphia setting up at the 48, in between the hashes, 4 behind them also in between the hashes. After Robinson goes to their formation, then they spread out like you see now. Securing this ball is going to be huge on the kickoff for Arkadelphia. Got to secure the ball.
And it will be another high, short kickoff. It will be caught at the 24-yard line, returned up to the 30-yard line, down the far sideline. He'll make it out to the 37. A flag goes down.
Flag was from this sideline. The play was 50 yards the other way, and so Arkadelphia is going to get called for a penalty, and that penalty is going to set Arkadelphia back 10 yards.
That's fascinating. He called it from the Robinson sideline.
Well, he called it on a play. I believe they called that penalty on Jason Campbell, who was in the middle of the field.
Okay.
I don't know what the penalty is going to be, though.
The return was on the far sideline. The flag came from the near sideline, but it was against Arkadelphia.
Boy, that's a tough one because the play was 25 yards away from where the block was made. Now, that could be taken as, why do you call that? But it's also on the other side, let it go for the player. If the play's 25 yards away from you, you like the intensity of keeping your block, but you got to know where the play is and leave that one alone. I said Jason's name. I don't know. He was the only one. He was the one turning back looking, so I could have just falsely incriminated Jason. He's done enough tonight to earn a pass if that was him.
On first down, Arkadelphia will run the ball with Buster Thomas. He's going to spin and make a few yards. The line of scrimmage was the 27 after the penalty. He'll make yardage across the 30. They'll mark it at the 31, so not a bad gain on first down.
Jay Sean Davis in there at the dog position. Kyron Harrison in the backfield. Kyler Pfeiffer also in the backfield there right now, awaiting the formation. Staten Whitten and Logan Becker, the other two wide receivers who did a tremendous job blocking downfield on the previous touchdown drive for Arkadelphia. Davis, Pfeiffer, and Becker wide on this side near field.
Just moved under 5:40 to play in the game. Running play. Thomas breaks the tackle, breaks to the outside, and he'll break 2 more tackles and stay on his feet. And I think he's got a first down. What a tremendous run by Thomas. Great lateral movement. Just very hard to hit him.
Boy, that was a tremendous run by Buster Thomas. He had some blocking to the right side, and then he cut it back upfield, and the rest was on him. We've seen he and Kyron Harrison make some tremendous individual plays after they take advantage of the holes that the line has given them.
They move the chains, start the clock again. We're under 5:20 to play. Arkadelphia leading by 1 at 28-27. Pfeiffer in motion. There's the snap. They want to run again. Here's Harrison looking for a hole. He'll run through a blocker and then fall down as he's hit by the defenders. It's a gain about 3 yards. They'll mark it near the 40-yard line. Between the 40 and 41. Under 5 minutes to play. Arkadelphia trying to keep this drive alive, use up some clock in the process. No big hurry. 20 seconds left on the play clock. Once again, Cannon Turner, the All-State quarterback, injured in the second quarter. Buster Thomas has played the position since then. Running play for Buster Thomas up the middle. Good gain. He's near a first down, about a yard short. Third down and short coming.
3rd and 1. Nice read that time by Buster as he had Kyron coming across on the jet sweep. Pulled it back at the last minute and hit that hole quickly, and now it's 3rd down and 1. Big plays were coming up on 4 minutes to go.
Two Senators were slow getting up after that play. This defense for the Senators has been on the field quite a bit here in the second half.
With some offensive line making some good blocks and taking care of their job, I like Kyron Harrison's chances of getting 1 yard.
Third down and a yard for Arkadelphia. Linebackers come blitzing. Harrison will dive into the line of scrimmage. He breaks the tackle. Oh, he almost got free, but it's a first down at the Robinson 48-yard line.
Now we got Senators all over the ground over here. J.T. Towers came from his linebacker position, came and shot a gap on the left side of that defensive line. Kyron Harrison went to the other side. He went opposite of Towers, was able to get the first down and into Robinson territory for a big first down, as now we're under 4 minutes. And now you remember back, Robinson had to call the timeout on the change of possession, and so now they only have 2 left.
They were about to get a delay penalty and had to call timeout, and suddenly with only 2 left, they might be in need. Arkadelphia has a first down and 10 with 3:53 left, and we will go ahead and take a break as there is an injured Senator on the plate. We'll be back with more Badger football in 30 seconds.
Turner, Rogers, Manning & Plyler CPA is a longtime supporter of the Arkadelphia Public School District. Turner, Rogers, Manning & Plyler has established a reputation for providing clients with outstanding services that include auditing, accounting, and tax and business consulting. Contact Turner, Rogers, Manning & Plyler today at 870-246-4563 or by visiting them at 305 Professional Park Drive in Arkadelphia. Turner, Rogers, Manning & Plyler says, "Go Badgers!"
Injured player was the nose guard, Jonathan Blackman, but he'll make his way off the field under his own power, and we'll be back to action here momentarily. Arkadelphia at the Robinson 47. First down and 10. Badgers moving the ball on the ground behind Buster Thomas and Kai Harrison. Running play. Here's Harrison. He'll break into the secondary. He's got 5, and he's just chopped down before he can hit the far sideline and make a big gain, but that's a nice first down gain. 3:38 left, clock running. Arkadelphia 28, Robinson 27. Arkadelphia now with a nice drive. They want to add more points. From the 44-yard line, it's second down.
Jeff, this is sorry to interrupt you. This is where that 40-second play clock really helps when you're trying to bleed the clock.
Second down and 7. Linebackers are showing that they want to blitz, but here is a running play. Ooh, a big hit in the backfield, but Thomas will struggle back to the original line of scrimmage. Now blow the whistle, guys.
No, they're still letting him go. He's going forward.
They really are. I think that's kind of a dangerous situation, but anyway, it's going to be allowed to continue. Now there's a Badger who I think might have a cramp, and so we are going to keep it right here for a moment and make sure that everything is all right. 3:01 left. The clock has stopped momentarily. And since they let them scrum for a while, Arkadelphia did get some positive movement up to the 43-yard line when it looked like there would be a loss on the play. Robinson is really crashing into the offensive backfield right now. There is enough of a delay in the game with this injury that we'll take a break. So 3:01 left. Arkadelphia 28, Robinson 27. We'll be back in 30 seconds.
Doctors Gary and Rob Rucker are proud sponsors of this Arkadelphia Badger broadcast. Dr. Gary and Rob Rucker supporting the Badgers since 1996. Doctors Gary and Rob Rucker are proud sponsors of this Arkadelphia Badger broadcast. Dr. Gary and Rob Rucker supporting the Badgers since 1996.
Arnhem will check out of the game for Arkadelphia. He was injured on the play, but is off with a little bit of help, limping a little bit. He is an offensive lineman that's done a great job, as usual this year and last year as well, a championship team, 6'2", 250. He's going to check out of the game, so Arkadelphia will have to replace him on this very important 3rd down and 6. Ball at the 43-yard line of Robinson. 3 minutes left. Clock just started. And Arkadelphia can let it run down to about 2.5 minutes before they snap it.
Sophomore Matthew Porter is the one who comes in to replace that spot on the left tackle of this Arkadelphia offensive line.
Arkadelphia lines up with Rogers into block. Harrison at running back. They'll fake it to Harrison, rolling to his right and passing the ball. It's intercepted. Ball at the 33-yard line, intercepted by Robinson. Well, the Senators are going to get their chance with 2:35 left.
Yeah, defense going to try to pick it up. Defense can go win this ball game right here. You got to make a play and get the momentum you had back. Just a little bit too much air under that one. KP was there, just a little bit too much air under that, and the defensive back came from underneath, jumped the route, and got the pick.
All right.
Got to watch the quick hitter there after a sudden change.
Ball at the 32-yard line. Robinson will line up. Still got plenty of time and 2 timeouts. 2:35 left in the game. Arkadelphia lines up defensively. They're going to run the ball. Here it is. Oh, a nice break to the middle of the field. Big hit, and he's going to come down to 46. That's a first down on the first play from scrimmage. Arkadelphia will line up. He cut to the middle of the field in what looked like it would be a run-off tackle and found a hole. From the 46, Robinson has some new energy now.
Very similar situation to last week's game.
Another running play. It's going to pick up 2 yards, maybe 1. Clock's going to continue to run. We're under 2 minutes and 10 seconds left to play. Robinson does still have 2 timeouts. Hunter Smith on the carry. He's a very dangerous running back.
Got to figure that Robinson's going to go to the air, try to take advantage of some space.
Buddy Gaston at quarterback has a big arm. He's had a couple of touchdown passes on post patterns across the middle. And he will hand off again. Here's a running play right into the Badgers, but not much, maybe a yard. It's 3rd down and long. Now we're under 1:40 to play.
No, 2 timeouts left for Robinson, but they're not going to take one right here. Big play as we come down to 2 left in this one as we're in a minute and a half left.
Will they go back to a pass across the middle? They scored a touchdown on that moments ago.
Now they're going to call a timeout.
Okay, they've got 1 left. Robinson has just called a timeout. 3rd down and 8 yards to go. Ball at the Robinson 48-yard line when we come back. It's Arkadelphia 28, Robinson 27, 1:24 left in the game. We'll be back in 30 seconds.
Citizens Bank was established by a group of local business leaders who shared a vision of creating a bank that would be committed to serving working people. Over the years, we have expanded our services, locations, and technology, but we make every effort to stay true to our roots. Citizens Bank is owned by local shareholders and governed by a local board of directors, most of whom live, work, and invest alongside our customers. We continue to take pride in a heritage of independence that honors the vision of our founders, and we remain dedicated to the financial progress of the people we serve.
.124 left in the football game. We promised you some excitement. Call your friends, your alumni buddies, Arkadelphia High School. Let them watch this last 124 of the game. Arkadelphia 28, Robinson 27. High-powered football game. A couple of teams each with a chance to win a state championship this year. Arkadelphia has won it the last 2 years, including over Robinson just last year in the finals. Now Robinson, though, has a chance from its own 48-yard line. 3rd down and 8 yards to go. Buddy Gaston, strong-armed quarterback, calls out the snap count. He's going to hand off. Now they're going to run a reverse play, but a big loss, a nice hit, and a fumble. Arkadelphia's picked up the ball. The Badgers have the ball at the Robinson 28-yard line. The trick play backfired.
Trey Bledsoe, huge play. He had the 3rd down stop on the much taller receiver, knocking it out of his hands in the end zone. He read this one tremendously. They tried to catch Arkadelphia sleeping. 2 years ago, the Senators got the trick play to work. Tonight, the Badgers snuff out the trick play. 1 timeout remaining. I don't think there's going to be enough for Robinson to force Arkadelphia to do anything but down the ball. And so I think that my math is not that good, Jeff, and a little bit excited. But Trey Bledsoe with a huge play. Cole Turner with the fumble recovery, held on to it. He had 2 hands-on contact immediately. Arkadelphia's got 10 seconds left, so you might be able to call a time. They're going to go ahead and try to get the play off.
They're going to sprint out and take the play. Here's Thomas. He's going to hand off to Harrison. Harrison will be tackled, but he's going to use up some time in the process back at the 31-yard line. And Robinson, I believe, has just called their last timeout, 1:09 left in the game.
Last timeout. So Arkadelphia has 2nd and 12. There's no timeouts left. So let's do a little bit of the math here. If the play can take 4 or 5 seconds, you've got the 40-second clock. So with the 40-second play clock, you can milk 39 seconds off of that twice. And to me, I think that is enough.
Victory formation.
If you can take care of the football. Well,
yeah.
I don't know if you go to the victory formation on this play because you need the play to last about 4 or 5 seconds.
Yeah.
If you can get Buster in some space on the left side, run to the far side of the field, it looks like I think, the ball is going to be spot just inside the numbers, midfield, in the middle of the field. So if Buster can run about 4 or 5 seconds off, then you can let that 40-second play clock be your friend.
I think they're going to line up in victory formation and then maybe hold the ball for a few seconds before he puts a knee down.
Yeah, Coach Eldridge and Coach Moreland were out at the numbers talking about that. Let's see if that's indeed what they do. Regardless, 80 seconds is 1 minute and 20 seconds, isn't it?
Here's the snap, and he does take a knee immediately. Robinson, of course, charging into the line.
All right, so 35 seconds on the play clock when it goes down to 1 minute.
Yeah.
So you snap it one time, the ball game's over.
That's it. They started the 35-second clock at 1 minute. So Arkadelphia just needs to snap it one more time, and the Badgers are going to have a 1-point victory a week after a 1-point loss.
Yep. Here's some VVR chants from across the way. What a mentally tough win for Arkadelphia to have your quarterback go out in the second quarter, and now you're under 33 seconds. You can snap this one time, go shake hands at midfield, and come out of West Little Rock with a W.
That's it. They have snapped it. They have downed it. They don't have to snap it again. 22 seconds left. We'll count it down. Arkadelphia is going to have a 1-point win over Robinson at Robinson. So both of these teams will have one loss in conference play, and Robinson has not yet played Nashville. That'll be a big game later on. 8 seconds left. 6 seconds left. 4 seconds left. 2, 1, touchdown, Arkadelphia. The Badgers have won this game 28-27. Arkadelphia, after the heartbreak of last week and the 1-point loss to Nashville, has bounced back for a 1-point win, highlighted by a defensive touchdown, a team that came from behind without its starting quarterback, and Chris, finally, a blocked extra point.
Boy, the blocked extra point at the huge time for the Badgers, and just a tremendous win for the Arkadelphia Badgers, coming up with a huge gut check, character-building win on this 2019 season.
No doubt about it, Robinson is one fine team. They're going to make a run in the playoffs just like Arkadelphia. Let's take a break. We'll come back with the post-game show in 60 seconds.
Angry Goat Media is home to Follow the Badgers. Get your business booming today with the exceptional web design and development, photography, video production, and graphic design services. Angry Goat Media is the perfect company to get the job done. We're always ready to customize our services to your business requirements, needs, and budget. Angry Goat Media. Innovation, not imitation.
Turner & Turner is a general practice law firm that focuses on consumer protection, personal injury, and civil litigation. To us, the practice of law is about service. Our clients aren't just cases to us. They are people who need our help solving legal issues. Turner & Turner actively supports local civic and charitable groups. Our attorneys will take the time to get to know you, your circumstances, and your goals. Turner & Turner Law Firm. We're in this together. Your team and ours.
What a tremendous football game tonight here at Robinson High School in Little Rock, Arkansas. Beautiful weather, tremendously hard-playing football teams, great effort by both schools, but Arkadelphia came away with the win. In the first half, a first drive touchdown by Buddy Gaston and the Senators. They scored with 9:07 left in the first quarter on a 7-yard touchdown pass. The point after touchdown was good. It was 7-0 Robinson. And then a one-play drive, 69-yard pass from Cannon Turner to Buster Thomas. That 69-yard pass and the extra point tied the game with 8:58 left in the first quarter at 7-7. And then Cannon Turner, playing safety, intercepted a pass and returned it for a touchdown. Arkadelphia had a 14-7 lead. After that, the two teams traded punts for a period of time until Robinson was able to return an interception and tie the game at 14. And then Robinson was able to score another touchdown to take a 21-14 lead, also on an interception return. At halftime, it was a 7-point lead for Robinson. Just before halftime, Arkadelphia did a tremendous job, of preventing a 2-touchdown lead by Robinson as the Robinson offense moved down into the red zone, had opportunities to score, and Arkadelphia prevented that, and the Badgers were down by only 7 at halftime. Arkadelphia got the ball first in the second half, and yet it was going to be a tall order because they were going to have to come at Robinson and this very strong Robinson defense with its backup quarterback. Cannon Turner was injured on a kickoff return, injured his left shoulder. We don't know the full extent of that injury, but he did not dress out for the second half. We don't know how long he'll be out of action, but he did not play in the second half of this game. And so his best wide receiver, Buster Thomas, switched to quarterback and played quarterback for the entire second half. And in that second half of action, Buster Thomas came through. He moved the team repeatedly. They were not able to score on every drive, but they were able to tie the game at 21, and then they were able to take the lead at 28-21. Awfully good work by the defense, which created turnovers as well, and then 2 touchdowns by the Buster Thomas-led offense, and Arkadelphia led at 28-21. And then Robinson scored a touchdown in the fourth quarter, but the extra point was blocked. At least 3 Badgers broke through. We think perhaps it was their star defensive end who was able to come up with the block. There were a couple of other guys in there, but we think Jason Campbell at 6'3" was the one that got through for the block of that extra point, and that made it a 28-27 1-point lead for Arkadelphia, and the Badgers were able to hang on with outstanding defense. Finally, Robinson tried a trick play at the end. They threw a backwards pass and then or a lateral and then a reverse play. The offensive player for Robinson was hit by a wonderful work in getting into the backfield during the play by Trey Bledsoe, the cornerback for Arkadelphia. And as the Robinson player was trying to break free, he fumbled the ball away. Arkadelphia picked it up, and then they ran out the clock. So Arkadelphia came away with a 1-point win tonight over the very, very talented Robinson Senators. At the same time, it really gives the whole town, I think, a breath of relief after that difficult loss to Nashville last week by 1 point, a 22-21 game. Now the Arkadelphia Badgers have bounced back with a 1-point win of its own on the road here at Pulaski Robinson. I tell you what, Arkadelphia deserved the win. Great defense, great resiliency, especially after losing Cannon Turner. Now I'm joined by Jim Rothwell. Jim, you can give us a stat report momentarily, but first, what a victory by Arkadelphia that showed a lot of heart tonight.
It really did. After seeing that blocked PAT, you wish they'd had a chance to go after the one last week because I really think they would have blocked it. Jason Campbell is phenomenal. He's very quick. He's got long arms. You just feel just think, I wish they just had a chance.
Exactly.
Yeah, but tonight, great game. Buster Thomas came out in the Hoops magazine last year, not this year. One of the junior high coaches commented that he was one of the best players he'd ever seen in junior high. We got to see that tonight. This was really Buster's coming out party. Great reception for the touchdown, and then to come in and lead the team the second half, make some key first downs so the clock could run. This is what we've been expecting from Buster.
Thomas can certainly throw the ball, but to be able to run so well, he and Harrison, when you know that those talented Robinson players were expecting the run, they still were able to make first downs, scored the 2 touchdowns they need to win the game.
If you were told me that Cannon Turner and Kyle Harrison would both have less than 50 yards, I would have said there was no way Arkadelphia would win this game, but that's what happened. Again, big plays by the defense, interception for a touchdown, and then the key stops in the second half by the defense. You really have to take your hats off to the defense in that second half. This is a very good Robinson offense. I mean, they've got a great passing attack. They've got athletic receivers. They've got a big offensive line. They've got some good running backs. For the Arkadelphia defense to play as it did in the second half was just tremendous.
Could be another rematch in the finals. I mean, these two teams are that good.
They really are. We'll see. Again, it'll be how both of them react after this, and that's the key. We saw how Arkadelphia reacted last year after losing the first 2. It's going to be interesting to see how Robinson reacts after losing this one.
Our buddy Chris Babb is down the sideline. He's going to have an interview with Arkadelphia head coach J.R. Eldridge in just a few moments, but we've got time to go to statistics. So, Jim, give us a statistical report of tonight's game.
Again, for Robinson, Gaston, again, has a really strong arm, and he's got some big play receivers. He was 9 out of 17 for 141 yards. He had 2 TDs and 2 interceptions. Again, the first drive, he really got a lot of those yards on that first drive. And then there were a couple of other big plays along the way. The key to me was, other than the one long run there in the end of the third quarter, fourth quarter, wherever it was, Arkadelphia defense did a great job on the rushing game. Hunter Smith, the big running back, the strong running back, had 25 carries for 138 yards. And if I remember that, about 70 of that came on that one run. So 24 carries for 66 yards from him. That's a great job defensively. But they did hold Robinson to 169 yards total rushing. Again, Smith had most of that. Again, the key plays, the interceptions, the fumbles, the penalties. Robinson had numerous penalties. I think they ended up with about 10 penalties. Just mistakes like that, particularly in the third quarter when Arkadelphia sort of took back control of the game. It was just like they were confused. They used a timeout. They made some penalties. They had the penalty down when they were on the 5-yard line and pushed them back. I think, just things like that in that third quarter just continue to give Arkadelphia some momentum there.
Jim, I tell you what, there were mistakes tonight. Both teams were riddled by some turnovers, defensive touchdowns. There were a lot of penalties tonight, but I think a lot of that came from an extreme amount of effort. Occasionally a quarterback would try to make a play that wasn't there. Occasionally a defender would make a hit that was a little too aggressive, or perhaps an offensive lineman would hold on to a block a little too long and it created penalties. There was a lot of effort on the field, just some mistakes that both teams will want to clean up.
That's true. When you get into this situation, okay, you press a little bit. And I was very pleased with Buster Thomas. He didn't really press. The interception was just a little bit underthrown, a little bit late there. But, again, he hadn't really practiced other than just a little bit at quarterback. Come into a game like this and make the plays that he did was phenomenal. Again, a lot of mistakes for both teams, things you have to clean up if you're going to move forward. But you can't say enough about Arkadelphia and the way they played tonight. Just as a team, every aspect, special teams, Savage kicking the ball deep enough so that they started most of the time inside the 30. I guess they had one punt maybe that Turner punted in the first half. Again, making those extra points makes a difference. We expected that from Gabe Goodman last year, but Savage has done extremely well too. I think he's just missed one or two. And again, every one of those counted tonight and made a difference.
One of the unsung heroes that doesn't have to be unsung, we're going to mention his name. I think we did at least once during the broadcast. Cannon Turner is the holder on those extra points, and without him in the game, Alex Loy stepped in and did an exceptional job in that role.
He did. I mean, that's very important. You've got to get that ball down, and I'm sure Robinson knew that, and they were coming after it. And so that was really a critical thing, to get the ball down, to let the kicker have a chance at kicking the extra point and making it good.
Not easy to replace Gabe Goodman as the kicker, but Savage has done a great job with it. Ethan Savage, a big job tonight, both at linebacker and kicker.
He made a key hit on one there on I think it was on a pass rush. And again, Trey Bledsoe, that play at the end. You don't want to keep giving Robinson a chance with those big receivers and the running backs and the speed that they have. That was a big play.
Let's say it one more time. He's 5'6", Jim, but he is all football player. What a great play he made, reacting to the trick play by Robinson, spoiling it for a loss, and then the fumble.
And then he also had the break up in the end zone.
You bet.
When the receiver had both hands on the ball, 6'2", and he goes up and hits him hard enough or knocks the ball away. A great night for Trey Bledsoe.
You're hearing some background noise because we've opened up a mic and we're going to have a conversation on the sideline between our own Chris Babb and Arkadelphia head coach J.R. Eldridge. Just about ready to bring that to you. Down to the sideline now for Chris Babb.
Here with Arkadelphia head coach J.R. Eldridge. Coach, you can go play after play. There are so many big plays in a game like that. Talk about the mental toughness that your team had to have to come out and have a second half like it had, then get a play, get a stop, and come up with a victory?
Well, it's just things that we talk about all the time. I'm talking about put on more steam, had a lot of adversity in the game. Some of that we caused, some of that we didn't. But just the way they handled adversity, they were able to continue to put on more steam. And really what that means for us is to just keep moving forward, not slow down, continue to work toward, to work towards your goal of winning the football game.
Cannon goes out, Buster comes in. I'm not talking about a talent difference. I'm talking about the mental of your team. What was their attitude in the halftime locker room? Say, hey, next man up. We have to do what we need to do to win the ball game.
Well, we just believed in each other, believed in what we were doing. I mean, all the coaching staff was able to make adjustments, talk to our team. I was able to talk to our team and just help them to understand that what we've got to do is go out and continue to put on more steam, and that's what we did.
Congratulations, Coach.
Thank you.
That is Chris Babb on the sideline with Arkadelphia's victorious head coach, J.R. Eldridge. When we come back, we'll have offensive and defensive players of the game for the Arkadelphia Badgers. Arkadelphia 28, Robinson 27. Final score tonight from Robinson High School. We'll be back in 2 minutes.
Price & Company Insurance and Bonds in Arkadelphia is a 100% fully independent agency, meaning that you'll be working with insurance agents who have an in-depth knowledge of multiple insurance products, companies, and guidelines, not just one. Contact Price & Company Insurance and Bonds today for your needs at 1015 Caddo Street in Arkadelphia or by calling 870-246-5573. Price & Company Insurance and Bonds says, "Go Badgers!"
Under perfect conditions, your car traveling at 65 miles per hour can stop in about 300 feet. That's the length of a football field.
But a fully loaded tractor trailer, one that weighs 80,000 pounds, will take 2 football fields to stop. And that's if the driver is rested, paying attention, and the truck and load is properly maintained.
If you're in an accident with a big truck, call 1-800-CAR-RATE.
Get the experienced team that's going to be on your side, by your side.
As a family-owned sporting goods supplier since 1950, Southwest Sporting Goods understands the value of customer service and is committed to providing the best quality customer service and merchandise available. Southwest Sporting Goods is located in Arkadelphia, but also has salesmen that cover the entire state of Arkansas to help ensure that their customers will receive the best customer service and pricing that can be found. Southwest Sporting Goods, located in downtown Arkadelphia, supporting the Badgers since 1950.
We are in the postgame show tonight, and when we are talking to head coach J.R. Eldridge down the sideline about this 28-27 Arkadelphia victory over Robinson, why stop there? Let's go back to the sideline and see if Chris Babb would like to say a word or two to one of the players. I believe he is going to talk to Buster Thomas down on the sideline. Buster Thomas, who came in to play quarterback.
Here with Buster Thomas. And Buster, congrats on the win. You go in, you have to come out for a couple of plays in the second quarter, then the team goes in and has adjustments. Talk about the mental toughness of you guys coming out in the second half and saying, yeah, we got to do something different, but we just got to do what we have to do to win the ball game.
Yes, sir. Going in the house, I knew Kenny had went down, and I was the next man up, and Coach told me just stay focused. Just stay focused and execute the plays. So he called. He said he believed in me and that I could get it done, and I got the job done. So.
Buster, it's been a couple years since you've been behind center like that as a quarterback. Didn't look like any cobwebs. Obviously, having Kyron and having that senior offensive line has to help as well.
Oh yeah, a whole bunch. All the credit goes to the O-line. Without them, I wouldn't be doing none of the plays I did tonight. So all the credit goes to the O-line and the receivers blocking.
Buster, congratulations. Good win.
Thank you.
That is Buster Thomas on the sideline with our own Chris Babb. Really well-spoken young man who had some things to say about the incredible victory tonight. Good offense, good defense, resiliency in the first half, resiliency in the second half. And I believe we have another sideline interview. Is it Trey Bledsoe down the sideline I see? I think it is. Chris Babb.
All right, here with Trey Bledsoe. Trey, several good plays tonight. A lot of tackles, but talk about 2 plays. I want to ask you about the pass to the far side on the far end zone where the guy had the ball in his hands. You played it like you're supposed to, knocked the ball away. Tell me what you were going through on that play and what you were thinking on that play, because you knew you had one-on-one.
I knew it was coming. I just had to get inside leverage and just play it.
He's 6'2". You're not 6'2". It's just hard making a play when it comes to something like that, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
All right, let's talk about that last play. Robinson ran the trick play, and you come up from behind after the pass. What did you see in that play, and what did you read in that play, and what was your look?
I heard reverse, so I saw my receiver running. I just followed him, and I knew he was going to get it, so I just made the play.
Trey, great job. Congrats on a big win tonight.
Trey Bledsoe, tremendous game. Now, we've had interviews with an offensive and defensive player, but we're not going to name offensive and defensive players quite yet. We're going to go back to about a 2-minute break, and then when we get back, Chris Babb will be with us, and we'll talk offensive and defensive players of the game. We'll be back in 2 minutes.
What if a bank didn't just make home loans, but taught responsible home ownership? What if a bank didn't just make business loans, but actually trained successful entrepreneurs? And what if a bank didn't just help you use credit, but helped you build and repair it? That would be a different kind of bank. Southern Bancorp, a bank on a mission to be wealth builders for everyone. Learn how you can bank differently at banksouthern.com/whatif.
Finally got me, Ben.
What's that, Rick?
The Clark Street crater, the mother of all potholes. For decades, it's tormented the people of this town. They try to fill it, but it always returns. Got me good.
But you know State Farm's got you, too.
You ain't nothing!
Are you trash talking a pothole?
Yeah. Yeah, I am.
Go with the one that's here to help life go right. State Farm.
Call State Farm agent Austin Wingfield at 870-246-2162 today. Locally owned and operated, Welch Funeral Home has been serving the Arkadelphia community since 2005. Our goal at Welch Funeral Home is to offer every family that will allow us to serve them the most caring, dignified, professional service at the most affordable price. With over 40 years of experience in the funeral home industry, owner Tim Welch and Welch Funeral Home have also been longtime supporters of the Arkadelphia Badgers and Lady Badgers. Contact Welch Funeral Home at 870-230-1400 or visit them at 202 South 4th Street near downtown Arkadelphia.
We're back in the postgame show. We've got no reason to leave anytime soon because the traffic is backed up for a good half hour here
we would
at Robinson.
We would like to thank and apologize to our engineer back at KSWH. Thanks for sticking in with us. I guess the other positive is that she could be doing the engineering for the Little Rock Christian PA Pulaski Academy game going on, where we can kind of see the stadium lights. They still have 5 minutes left in the game. It's 54-54. So back at the station at KSWH, we really appreciate you sticking with us, and we might buy you some Chick-fil-A or something like that.
Yeah, Chris might do that. He's that nice of a guy. I tell you what, that's exciting down the street at 54 apiece, but this was exciting here, Chris. The guys you talked to, they've got to be elated with this win, 28-27 Arkadelphia.
It really was. There's a sense of accomplishment down there. It wasn't around the team very much, just very long, but just a real sense of excitement. You think about that. That's you come off of a tough loss. You have your 3.5-year starter at quarterback go out. You're confident in Buster. We've all seen what Buster can do, but he hadn't played since the quarterback since the 9th grade other than practice snaps. He comes out. Not only Buster, not one person wins a game, just like one play doesn't win a game, but combined with Buster, the defense coming up with huge plays. Coach Kaiser, Coach Chandler, and Coach Wilson, the defensive coaches, coming up with a huge game plan, the players executing that game plan in the second half, and then just making plays. You have the block. You go back to a play of the game. I don't know if we're going to be able to pick one because there were so many. You have the Lucas Witherspoon tackle that ended up in a touchdown, but it did take some time off the clock. You have the blocked extra point. It's a 1-point win. You have the play by Trey Bledsoe in the corner of the end zone on a receiver that's 8 inches taller than he is. And then you have him reading the reverse and coming up with forcing the fumble that Cole Turner recovered. That was a definition of a team win for a team that needed that win tonight.
All right, let's go ahead and talk about a defensive player of the game. Everybody you just mentioned, very, very deserving. And I have to look at Bledsoe, though. I mean, this is a guy who is not the biggest guy on the field, but they trusted him enough to put him in single coverage against talented Robinson receivers, and he came up big time after time. And, in fact, then on the play in the backfield when he created the fumble, I mean, my goodness, he was back there as soon as the receiver was back there for that reverse play. And then after he made the hit, it looked like it would be a big loss. When the receiver fought for more yardage, he caused the fumble that Turner recovered. What a big, big play. I got to go with him for my defensive player of the game.
Has to be mine, too. I mean, just to be able to handle that corner position against a receiver that big and that fast and isolated out there by himself. Occasionally he would have some safety help, but it was basically one-on-one out there. And then to make those key plays, no question in my mind, he was the defensive player. And that's not to take anything from the rest of the defense. The defensive line played great. When you hold Robinson to yardage, other than the one long run, they did a great job defensively, particularly against the rush.
If Bledsoe is the defensive player of the game, Chris, you got to mention the horde of other people that you could mention as an honorable mention. What about Cannon Turner? 2 interceptions in the first half, one in the end zone to prevent a touchdown, and the other was a touchdown he scored in the interception return.
Yeah, those were 2 obviously huge plays. Every one of those defensive linemen was in there tonight. We talked about those guys a lot, but every one of those defensive linemen, that was I think as the coaching staff goes back to look at that film, that's going to be just very proud of the team as a whole. Cannon can be put in that too, but Trey had a couple of those big plays. 2 big plays there in
Jason Campbell,
yeah. And whoever blocked the extra point, that's a team victory in that extra point, because there was a significant push on that extra point from that interior. Now we know why Nashville went for the quick snap on the ready for play, because you want to take any opportunity you have for a block away from a team that blocks kicks as good as Arkadelphia does.
And we're not talking in that case of somebody running quickly around the edge of the play. We're talking about a push from the middle against a huge offensive line.
A huge offensive line, yep.
Tremendous job by Arkadelphia on special teams and on defense. Let's talk about the offense, though. Chris, you go first. Offensive player of the game.
Golly, you look at Buster and Kai would be the 2 that stick out, obviously, because they're the ones that have the ball in their hands. But I remember seeing Jaden Quarles on the offensive line his name several times tonight. He had a couple of pull blocks on the other side from the left side, blocking on the right. Mentioned Staten Whitten for blocking, Logan Becker for blocking, Kyler Pfeiffer had some good plays, some tough yardage. So overall, just because of the senior leadership on that, obviously the linemen never get the love. But Kyron Harrison tonight, I don't know what his stats were. I was gone down on the field when you guys went over that, but just a huge night from Kyron there. Buster may not have had the numbers, he probably did, but he had to come in and assume a lot of responsibility there in the second half and respond when he was challenged. So maybe it's Buster. I just waffled on you, but
I think I'm going to say Buster, although Kyron Harrison does deserve a lot of credit. It's not his biggest night statistically, but when you think about the ability that he had to make first downs and run more clock in the second half, the tremendous effort that he gave at running back when he was also playing some linebacker and also playing some safety. Great job by Harrison, but Buster Thomas was the quarterback who had to step in when the All-State quarterback went down, and he did a fine job leading his team to the 2 touchdowns they needed to win the game.
Yeah, 16 rushes, 119 yards. As I look at Jim's notes, a 69-yard pass, receiving touchdown. Yeah, forgot about that one on the first play of the game.
You
so,
bet.
yeah, that kind of, Buster Buster did a tremendous job, and I can't argue with that one.
Jim, is it unanimous?
It is. Again, I'd like to give credit to the offensive line, too. That senior offensive line makes a difference when you get in that third and fourth quarter. I'm sure the coach was saying, it's on you guys.
Yep.
We've got a quarterback, senior quarterback is out. It's on you. You've got to take control of this game. You've got to make enough room for us to pick up yardage and keep the clock going.
It is 10 o'clock, and you're in tune to KSWH 102.5 The Pulse. Great radio station over at Henderson State, and also some very, very patient people working there tonight. We appreciate that greatly. Chris, wrap it up for us, and I want you to talk about this. Of course it was disappointing to lose 22-21 last week, but nobody thought this team would walk away and not make something of this season. The big win tonight really gives opportunities now for Arkadelphia to be in the conference race, to set itself up for a good seed for the playoffs, and it helps them build the confidence that the 2019 Badgers can do what the 17 and 18 team did.
Yeah, there's some unknowns. We don't know anything about Cannon Turner other than he didn't dress out in the second half. Don't know anything else about that. It may be that he's out for 5 days, maybe he's for 5 weeks. No idea. Mm-hmm. But for the rest of the season, whatever that may be, tonight was a huge night for Arkadelphia. You're 1-1 now instead of 0-2. You're right in the mix in who people believe will be the 3 top teams in the conference. You finish that row at 1-1. Now Nashville is 1-0. Robinson's 0-1. Robinson's going to try to even the score to have it the advantage against to make it a perfect triangle. Arkadelphia has 1 point if that ends up happening. Nashville has 1 point if that ends up happening. If Robinson wins, so Arkadelphia needed that tonight. That was a big win. You got to let the rest of the season play out though. But tonight was a huge win for the next 5 weeks of the season, no matter what the status of Cannon Turner is.
Very well said, Chris. We're going to leave it at that for this victory for Arkadelphia. We owe a very special thanks to Noah Grimes tonight because he provided some important help for us here on the road in a technical sense. Also, Katie Hatch at the Old Pro was back on camera tonight. We appreciate Katie's work. Both of those are students at Ouachita Baptist University, students of Chris Babb, students of mine. We greatly appreciate their work as sports media majors at Ouachita. Also want to say thank you to my old partner, Jim Rothwell, on stats and commentary tonight for Chris Babb and all of the work that he does on the technical side, on the air tonight. Appreciate him and for his sideline interviews as well. Appreciate all of our sponsors, of course. The final score again tonight from Robinson was Arkadelphia 28, Robinson 27. This is Jeff Root. Good night, everybody. And Abby, Daddy is on his way home.
You are watching Arkadelphia Badger football on ArkadelphiaBadgerTV.com and the Mascot Media app. Arkadelphia Badger Football 2019 is brought to you by Edward Jones Blake Bell, Turner & Turner PA, Austin Wingfield State Farm Insurance, Farm Bureau Insurance of Clark County, Welch Funeral Home, Doctors Gary and Rob Rucker, Southern Bancorp, Price & Company Insurance and Bonds, Southwest Sporting Goods, Eccles Thompson and Kneebone LTD, Mary and Martha's Florist and Gifts, Turner, Rogers, Manning, and Plyler CPA, Taylor King and Associates, Angry Goat Media, Southwest Auto Collection, Citizens Bank, Print Media, Ouachita Baptist University, and Kerry Garnett, broker at Blend Real Estate in San Diego, California. Arkadelphia Badger Football is a joint production of the Arkadelphia Public School District and the Rogers Department of Communication at Ouachita Baptist University.